Swisher blunts and I ain't never coming down. Bitch, you ain't no Barbie. I see you work at Arby's. Never too supersize it. Hurry up, I'm starving. Gnarly, radical. On the block, I'm magical. See me at your college campus, baggy full of Adderalls. Call me if you need a fix. Call me if you need a boost. See them other chicken heads, they don't ever leave the coop. I'm in the coop cruising. I got the stolen plates, serving all the fiends over there by the Golden Gate. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis. Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. The basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. The basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. I put that on my partner, I put that on my family. Oakland City represent, address me as your majesty. Yeah, you can kiss a ring, but you can never touch a crown. I smoke a million Swisher blunts and I ain't never coming down.
Woke up in the morning, traveling straight into the sun. Told my friends and family I was gone. Looked back in the mirror, thought about who I had become, and I don't think that anything's gone wrong. Jumped out of my suitcase and went traveling down the road. Went back to the place where I was born. Thinking about my future, thinking about how far we have come. Oh, I don't think I'm gonna be going home. And the day goes on, goes on, goes on, goes on. And the day goes on. And the day goes on, goes on, goes on. Hold on. And the day goes on. Went down to Virginia, thinking about how to change my name, just in case I have to fly away. Jumped onto a spaceship and I went to outer space, and now I think I'm gonna be okay. The day goes on, goes on, goes on, goes on, and the day goes on. And the day goes on, goes on, hold on, once the day goes on. And I'm long gone, and I'm long gone, and I'm right where I belong. I went to the future, thinking about how to spend my day, thinking about the things I can't explain. It's 1900 and the times are going to change. Oh, now I think we're gonna be okay. And the day goes on, goes on, goes on, goes on, and it goes along. And the day goes on, hold on, stay strong. And the day goes on.
Do you agree that there's no such paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers, scum. They're on giant death factories, keeping babies alive and selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, we love Satan, we wanna eat babies. I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy weird sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. What the hell? That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur. Literal vampire pot, then the goblins are hobbling round, coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go. We're such self-centered crap, we don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good, oh, they're so sweet.
I was watching Fox News as I worked out this morning.
Horrors in this house. There's some horrors in this house. There's some horrors in this house. There's some horrors in this house.
I said certified freak. 7 days a week. Wet ass P word. Make that pullout game weak. Yeah, you effin' with some wet ass P word. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass P word. Give me everything you've got for this wet ass P word. Beat it up, N word, catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this P word right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top, I wanna ride. I do a kegel while it's inside. Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. This P word is wet, come take a dive. It continues along these lines. And it gets significantly more vulgar. Like, a lot more vulgar.
Why won't any women fuck me? Why won't any bitches suck my dick? Why don't any women love me? They all treat me like a piece of shit. I only shower once a week. I do not floss or brush my teeth. But the problem is women, not me. Why won't any women fuck me? Why won't any bitches suck my dick? Why don't any women love me? They all treat me like a piece of shit. Apparently now it's a sin to say women belong in the kitchen. Well, cooking is for women, not me. I'm too much of a nice guy. I'm the nicest guy around. If I was more of an alpha, then these bitches would let me pound. If you're feeling emotions, well, that must mean that you're a sim. Cause feelings are for women, not me. Why won't any women fuck me? Why won't any bitches suck my dick? Why don't any women love me? They all treat me like a piece of shit. Well, if these girls don't think I'm cool, then I'll just go shoot up a school and prove the problem is women. The problem is women. I said the problem is women, not me.
It's okay to have feelings.
Yo, it's another B-Root broadcast. Let's go. How's it going, everybody? How you doing? How's it going? Oh, jeez. It is not a bright, beautiful day here in Montreal. The heat has been cut. But how you doing, chat? Are you well caffeinated? You sleep well? I've been up since 4 this morning. Why, buddy? Why you do this to me? Why does it have to be this way? But we got some good content for you, and good as in of high value, not in that it's gonna be enjoyable to watch. We're gonna see 400 cops do nothing in Uvalde. We're doing it, everybody. It's Monday. I don't give a shit anymore. The world's falling apart. I'm just we're staring into the abyss on a Monday morning, everybody. It's happening. I don't know. I heard about this report that 400 cops did nothing. I wanted to see what that looked like. Just curious. Just got that itch. I want to scratch. I'm sorry. I'm so twisted. I'm sorry. I'm gonna look at my calendar and be like, okay, technically I have music planned for like this day and that day, and then we'll have like cuts. We'll have actual real breaks, but I gotta fix my microphone. I just gotta do that. I keep saying I'm gonna do it and then I don't do it, but just slowly but surely things are getting better. And yeah, I don't know how else. Every time I open my news feed, it's like, wow, psychological violence, But I don't know. I guess I'm here for it. I can't look away. Just one of those folk. Just one of those people who just can't look away. Like, it's so weird. It's so unusual. I just want to know more. I just want to know what that looks like. So we're gonna get into it. I think there's like some preamble we'll check out. We'll see. I think there's like some CNN stuff worth looking into. Gonna blast off up on Twitter. But yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good content. I'm gonna make light as much as I can. I think we're just gonna ride like a really hard edge, and then it's gonna be chill. It's gonna be like really boring for like a long time. We can reflect upon American gun culture and really see it for what it is. So all right, everybody. Let's geez, oh god. Is it too early for Valium? So yeah, the Associated Press put out a report, and that's kind of what's spurring this segment. And I think the full path is that like the Texas Tribune maybe leaked the footage we're gonna look at today, and then or just a local news outlet in Texas leaked the footage, and then Associated Press, I guess, like put out the authoritative text-based rendition, but KVUE and the Austin American Statesmen. I don't know who they are, but they're the ones who got it. Sounds like a Texas thing. So, all right, brace yourself, everybody. Monka W. All right, okay. Oh, that's odd. Went to the wrong one. Sorry, just gotta switch this up. Warning. I pre-watched this. I made sure that there's no actual like blood that you can see or any like violence or harm. So it's a bit of an odd watch because it's like all audio mostly until the. I mean, yeah, you'll see. You'll see. But before we get to that, maybe we'll drop the music a little bit and check up on that Associated Press story that spurred all this. So minute by minute, and everybody's citing this story. When I like looked around, all the news outlets are sort of citing this story and saying 400 cops stood around and did nothing. And I think it's like buried in the lead somewhere. So we know most of these details, but questions remain about how and why police armed with rifles and bulletproof shields waited so long. Authorities have given shifting and at times contradictory information of what happened and how they responded, and the fallout has driven recriminations and rifts between local and state authorities. So during a May conference, Colonel McCraw said the commander on scene, Arredondo, made the quote wrong decision not to send an officer sooner, gave a detailed timeline, said it was a failure. Arredondo told the Texas Tribune he didn't consider himself in charge and assumed someone else had taken command. What an odd, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think a lot of these details we've sort of covered already. I guess what matters here is that a lot of the words that are hard to hear, we're actually going to get like transcripts. Like, quote, I need a lot of firepower, so I need this building surrounded with as many AR-15s as possible. He tells the dispatcher that he doesn't have a radio with him. Arredondo says, we need this place surrounded, and if you have SWAT, I need them set up. We don't have enough firepower right now. It's all pistol, and he has an AR-15. Okay, all right, yeah. I mean, I think let's do this. Big gulp. Big gulp. So this is him crashing his truck into the ditch. Make sure it's not too loud. Looks like, I guess he's just recovering from the crash. There's no audio in this section of it. Some people are starting to take a look. I don't know who they are though. Oh, I feel like this is going to be an emotional roller coaster. So, he's running. They're both... Oh! He trips, falls. They're running. They're scared. They're very scared. Okay, so from the moment he crashed his truck, people, like, were cluing in. Alright. Okay, so now he's coming. Sorry. Still no audio. I think he's just kind of stumbling his way. He's way off in the background. There's a car driving really quick and he's starting to cross like some fences. Switching to another camera, we see him crossing across the field. We see him crossing the field. It's just him walking across. But the way they ran, those two fellows ran away. He's making it to the car park, switching to another camera. Looks like he's entering into the parking lot between cars. Continuing from Hillcrest Memorial Funeral Home with audio from elementary school and video from a cell phone. Robb Elementary School and a body camera. Okay, so this is the official, like, abandon hope, all ye who enter. We're coming across the gate. Strong stomachs only, chat. Okay, you've been warned. Graphic content ahead. It's a teacher freaking, I think, or staff member. Okay, it looks like we're getting like a zoom in angle of him running into the building. Okay, this is not gonna be fun. That's a serious gun. This little kid sees the shooter. Oh shit. Oh shit. Yeah, it's about as bad as I thought it'd be. Jesus Christ. I almost want to skip this part. Holy fuck. We are... It's like America's a war zone now. What the hell is going on? Oh, I'm gonna barf. Literally have to skip this part. I know my own limits, chat. Let's see some of it going through the wall. Bro, I cannot. Okay, cops show up. Okay, they're going towards the sound of the shooting. They're coming in from both sides of the hallway. Looks like they know which room it is. It's like a dozen cops. Looks like they're in position to take him down. They could have got there sooner, but they're there. You're like right there. I think he shot through the wall, maybe. They're spooked. Some of them got handguns, but some of them got AR-15s or whatever that is. An M4 with a holographic scope. Still shooting. I mean, man, there's got to be big caliber rounds. They sound heavy. Fuck. So they definitely know where he is. Because the bullets are coming out from that wall. Okay, there's been like 2 minutes of just kind of standing and sort of still covered because they're just like letting the adrenaline go down. They're whispering. Shit, the death penalty trial of the Parkland High School gunman is live right now. Audio's awful. Sounds like he's still shooting. Dude, that guy's got a pretty good AR-15. Let him take lead. Take your sunglasses off. It's an indoor environment, my guy. This guy's got him on his head. Make it make sense. He did like that weird head nod. Like, you go, are you going? I'm just kind of. They know where he is. They know he's in there. This guy is actually not behind cover. It looks like maybe that was a bit of blood. Yeah. The audio is bad. It's like a bunch of cross chatter. Okay, yeah, he's getting him out. Getting behind actual cover instead of standing out in the hallway. Are you good? I'm good. I'm good. Are you good? I'm good. What's there? Okay, he's trying to get an angle. He's the one with the rifle. Come on, you got like 6 guns pointed down the hallway. Move forward. He's like resting his gun on top of the panel? What is he doing? He's got a whole handle. Okay, now they got 2 ARs. They're all crowding around those guys. Tactical maneuver. You can still feel the heat of the moment. The pressure to do something. Okay. What's happening? It got the hallway covered from both sides. but they're not like advancing or anything. He's just holding his position. He gave up on putting his weapon on like the paneling. One hit, baby. Go. It's your turn. You waited to take your turn. Now, here it is. This is your turn. Come on, there's like at least 5, 6 guns there. You all got body gear? You know where he is. You obviously feel safe. You're not even taking cover anymore. You're giving signals down the hole. Bro, advance. There's more cover further ahead. Go take it. Send someone to go take it. What's happening? My man is using the paneling again to hold his weapon up. His arm's getting tired. I wish I could actually hear what they said. We might want to read that Associated Press story after. They're like whispering, echoes. It's only coming through my left speaker. Man, they gave up so much ground so quickly and haven't done anything to take it back. Like, they overextended, and he like shot through their line, and they panicked and retreated, and they haven't moved forward since. He shot maybe like less than a dozen bullets in their direction. Probably through the wall or something. I couldn't really tell. Okay, that guy's on iron sights. Are you for real? Get that man a scope. Why does he have his head on top of his weapon? What is happening? His arm got so tired, he's resting his gun on the paneling and resting his hand on the gun. Make it stop. This is clownish. Bro, yo, how's it going? Holy cow, jeez. Yo, what a time to raid. Oh god, how's it going, everybody? Yo, thanks so much, Heem. How you been? How you good? I can't wait for your video to come out. How's it going? We're in the abyss, everybody. Oh jeez. Oh man, we're in the abyss. We're watching the UVALDE, the full UVALDE clips. It's like hardcore right now. So jeez, if you're here for it, if you're here for it, let's go. But we can definitely like go into lighter content. But I'm pushing forward, everybody. I'm pushing forward. Thanks so much for the follows. Y'all are lovely people. If you're new here, I stream in the mornings, 9 a.m. and I'm following whatever's weirdest in the world. You know, I play some music, I do politics, I do news. But yeah, thanks so much. Acton, Potato Band Plug, Annie43. Yo, Annie, how's it going? Squeeze the Fifth, Admiral Bones 137, Volt Pixel, MDHJ. Yo, it's been a good day for follows. How's it going? Yeah, rating on some super bad news. I've been sort of like prepping the audience for this. Like, okay, guys, we gotta we got to do this. And then I found out about like 400 cops like stood around did nothing, and I'm like, okay, what's that look like? What's that look like? Hey, welcome to the stream, Hunger Master Larry Potato 1. How's it going? How you doing? People, hey, how's it going? I mean, I can play this in the background because honestly, the point that y'all have come in, welcome to the stream, Neptune Folly 32. The point you've come in is like the most boring part of the stream. I like nothing's happening. They're just holding position. It's so insane. It's so insane to watch. The audio is really scuffed too. Like I'll give you a little bit of it. It's just like really scuffed. So yeah. Welcome to the stream. No, the number of cops keeps increasing until like a cop convention. Yeah, the part that every part of it is already really bizarre. Like the first couple moments seemed really normal, and then now it's just gotten extremely strange. Oh, sorry, Admiral Bones. Yeah, I'm a wholesome person, but I tend to look into the abyss. I'm sure like I had oh man, I looked into the Andrew Tate stuff the other day, and woo, oh boy, oh geez, all the trolls were there. Like, oh boy. That's the audio you get when you have to remove the sound of children screaming. Yeah. I don't know if that's why. And honestly, like when I dug into this, I felt like that's a sane thing to do. I don't know what value even the public gets from hearing that. That's some sacred stuff for parents. I don't know. People were shitting on the one cop for checking his phone. I guess he was actually trying to get in touch with his wife. That was the teacher inside. Yeah, but yes, and we're not doing like improv yes and. It's more like a yes but. And just like, ah, jeez. Have I watched the JJ video yet? No, I thought I would follow up the content with this. So some of the other stuff I've been into is like Viva Frey. He's like this Canadian political streamer, and Chuck Isn't Too Terrible mentioned that he like had a turn. Like he was really wholesome and interesting, and then all of a sudden he changed. And I started following him because of the Freedom Convoy. And man, he went off the deep end. He's like on Fox News. He's like praising Alex Jones and stuff. So Chuck seems to know what went wrong. And I want to take a closer look and sort of see what's going on there. So yeah, fun stream planned today. I was just confessing that I should actually focus on the schedule that I planned for myself. So I am actually playing music and breaking up the heavy news politics with like just music, just poetry, just I don't know, je ne sais pas, like anything that's light and fluffy. It's hard to balance it within a single stream, and like golly gee, this stuff has just been so grim. My timeline just will not let up. And there's not much to gain from the audio. Like the first couple minutes were like super harsh, just like this rando walking into a school and opening fires, just like as diabolic as it comes. So I'm really happy you rated after that moment, because it's just been a terrible moment to walk into. So yeah, this is we're just gonna kind of sit and feel slightly uncomfortable for about an hour. I'm honestly, I really believe in like, I don't know, experiencing something as close to the raw as possible. I know that like sometimes you come across stuff that are just so unusual. You just, every part of it continues to be unusual. Like you take any slice of this. At the beginning, they were so afraid of the hallway, and we're all going to watch as they just sort of become more and more comfortable in what used to be the line of fire, you know? Just like, what's happening? For sure, it's terrible, but there's an element of like fighting against the command structure and orders. He was what might have been worried about going solo. Yeah, the guy who got caught with the Punisher logo. Honestly, I mean, this is why people are like going so hard into defund the police, is because the systems are broken, right? And it's a really clear example of a bunch of individuals who aren't doing the thing that they probably might have on their own. As we saw with parents, they probably would have just gone in. You end up seeing that one police officer, or what the story goes, that he tried to get in, he was prevented. I don't know how true that is. You was talking about the one on the phone? Yeah, apparently Admiral Bones, there's the Punisher logo on his phone while he's like trying to get information, and it's like the one with the thin blue line and everything. It's like such a confused image. Yeah, confused image. It's very bizarre. So yeah, I don't know what to tell you, everybody. Like, they got the firepower, they got the ballistic shields at this point. He is getting so tired. He's resting against the wall, and like, if you work at McDonald's, what's the saying? Like, if you can lean, you can clean. Like, what are they doing? It's so weird. It's so strange. I can't get over it. Just dumbfounded. Yeah, I don't know. The part I find fascinating about this is that, yeah. I mean, we skip past the most brutal stuff, and we're into the part I'm actually interested in, which is a system breaking down, which is a system like acting against its own point and purpose. So much of the conversation of Black Lives Matter was like, man, the police got so much power and so little accountability. And here we get to see exactly what that looks like an extraordinary amount of power, the caliber of the guns alone. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's really bizarre to see, and around something so sacred. It's a school. It's an elementary school. It's just like every part of what makes you human wants you to go there. Wants you to try to do something. So I thought it was Monday morning. This would be the time. This would be the time. There'd be the least amount of viewers. There would be the fewest amount of people who would have to witness the raw footage. I know that CNN covered it, but I just can't listen to the talking heads. Like, I guess I'm a talking head, but I don't know. Like, it's just so hard to watch. One of the things I've noticed is a lot of the police look like married men. Like, I see a lot of rings on fingers, and they're all just getting kind of tired and slightly bored. Like that feeling you get when the adrenaline rushes out. You know, you just ran like a track and field, or just got into a fight with someone, and you just feel so exhausted that you couldn't do anything in the world. Like, that's starting to set in. It's really bizarre to watch. Super bizarre. Here to suffer this with you. Aw, people hug. Yeah, dank hug. Do I not have dank hug? Yo, welcome to the stream. Chudwick Logton. Lovely. I think the thing I like about getting a bunch of follows from him compared to follows based off of like a subject. Like just the other day, I did the Andrew Tate debate. I got a bunch of new follows, like 30. I was like, wow, cool, new follows. And then I slowly came to realize like some of them were incels or like just straight up misogynists. Just like, oh no, now I got a filtration problem kind of thing, right? Like, how do I make it known to these people they either gotta shape up or ship out, you know what I mean? Some cops got their own kids out, so they didn't worry too much about orders then. Is that true, Volpixel? I know there's just like, it's so hard to know what to believe, and there's so many mixed stories that I've seen, but I wouldn't put it past them. Okay, we're seeing helmets. This is better. Ballistic shields. I don't know what they're looking for at this point. There hasn't been any shots fired. Only 15% of the chatters. I want to make the joke shots fired, but it might be too soon. It might be too soon. Too soon. Yeah, too soon. I don't want to believe that. I think Heem's audience are based people, and if they're incels, then they're I don't know. They're gonna work it out. Yeah. Oh man. Oh jeez. Oh man. Is that a 4x scope he's got? They got the scopes. No more iron sights. They got at least 3 ARs. Okay. They're the good kind. Yeah, they're all fincels. They're all fincels. So wait, when is Heem's video coming out? I'm actually super curious. I had a cottage, or my mom's got a cottage up north, and there's all sorts of abandoned stuff out there. So I'm like deeply compelled by people finding stuff that's just been abandoned. Okay, All right. Looks like 15 is like the sales tax. It's not a lot. Okay. All right. All right. So if I have a few incels, I shouldn't be too worried. All right. I'll take that in mind. So it looks like this is the door that they're trying to get into. Is that what's going on? They're like, okay. Oh, that did not take long, actually. That actually took a very short amount of time. That's not even the classroom he's in, but they got in there. New poll in chat. Who likes Jordan Peterson? Do you stand Jordan Peterson? I'm gonna think it's lopsided. You like him for the memes? Okay, that's fair. He does produce some pretty good memes. Looks like they cleared that room pretty quick. Lots of firepower. Yeah, regardless of how you feel, I think the most responsibility is with the people at the top. The story about getting their own kids out is true. Snopes. Oh my god. Oh no, Volpixel. Oh no. When did it happen? I guess we don't see it. It's not on this footage. Would you say trains are fashion? That was a good arc. That was a good arc. I think like that guy who went down, or I can't remember who it was, but when on the early days of Twitch, I was like, yeah, man, I'll be one way to get clout is just to debate people. That could be a fun way. I like engaging people in discussions and learning about their viewpoints. And so I was like getting ready to set up a debate with him. I'm like, I looked in a bit deeper and I'm like, oh wait, this might not go the way I want it to. This might be really like tilted or unhinged. And sure enough, yeah, within 6 months, bros got like the worst. See, I knew it. I knew it'd be lopsided. Hell no. Y'all don't stand Jordan Peterson. I imagine every single one of you hasn't cleaned your room in like a month or two. You know, just absolutely disgusting. Yeah, I think like Arredondo is gonna become the fall guy. If it was like, as a parent, I think that's understandable. It's obviously acceptable. I can't say I would not have prioritized my own children. Your room's dirty as fuck. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just memeing. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think the takeaway for me is the bystander effect. Like, social scientists are gonna dig into this so hard and be like, okay, it looks like the bystander effect is also like got institutional factors, like depending on whether you know the other people standing around doing nothing kind of matters, right? Like what's the command and control structure? So wow, yeah, jeez, oh man. I mean, part of what makes this a bit hard to watch is that like I literally had a hard time watching the first couple moments, and it's very much like you hit that peak of hyper anxiety, of absolute dread of going through all those emotions, which are horrible and terrifying. I'm sorry to inflict it on you. Psychic drama, psychic damage. But now we're just in this really like armpit sweaty, like, oh, my palms are getting sweaty watching this. It's like, do something. Just advance to the next slightly more secure location, which is currently those doors. Close the doors if you have to. Like, do something, please. I wouldn't be able to leave the other children. Having a child makes normal people care about all children. I'm like at it. I don't really have kids, so that's probably why I'm insane enough to actually put this up as like content. I don't have that vulnerability in my heart, and that's probably a bad thing. Probably good to have kids. So I don't know, man. Because a lot of them seem like they're married folk. A lot of them probably have kids. That instinct in them, like pounding, you know, pounding in the back of your head. And then after this, we'll check out to see what happened to Viva Frey. To be clear, getting kids out is great, but it goes to show regular cops were able to do more than they did. Other kids followed them. Yeah, Volpixel, I think that's the part that's going to get the most scrutiny is you did do the thing, and you did it tactically, apparently. And other parents did the thing. So what's up? What's up? What's going on? All right, we're getting some body cam footage. They got another ballistic shield just propped up against... Is that how ballistic shields work? I feel like you gotta hold that thing with your arm. Maybe protect your head with the helmet. But this is like... Man, this like makes me think of footage from like Fallujah or something. It's unfortunately a part of life as a parent in the US. As an analyst and parent, I realized that while terrifying, it's also highly unlikely this ever happened to me as a parent. Yeah, it's more like the handguns or whatever in cities, I think, like just kind of just like the day-to-day and the suicides. This is a big part of it. And the accidental discharges. Oh man, I hate coming across those stories. Just like, what's going on? What's going on, America? You doing okay? This is nation-breaking stuff. You gotta treat this like with the seriousness it deserves. Okay, so I feel like this is from the opposite end of the hallway. Some progress being made. I cling to stats to get me through the day sometimes. Yeah, I feel that. I know that definitely, there's definitely American friends that I've had that notice there's like a less tension in the air in Canada. There's just like a palpable, like sigh of relief almost, like kind of like the temperature is a bit lower. Why do they buy all this equipment and clearly not have the training preparedness for the situations? I mean, this is part of why I'm interested in this. Like a lot of what I look into or like study is education and how we learn. And so what I'm looking at here are, I mean, technically a form of expert, right? Like these are all people who would see themselves as, I don't want to say like pros, like, I mean, yeah, they're technically pros, right? Like it's a professional class and they all practice a certain thing to develop an expertise. So what's the expertise they've developed here? Like that's kind of what I'm interested in. What did they practice like 2 weeks ago when they did training for like an active shooter situation? Because this seems like they've practiced sitting on their arse. They've practiced like evading accountability, evading like the real shit. It's really hard to see it otherwise. I don't know. They just got like shields propped up haphazardly. And like, look at this right now. Here's a really good moment because this hallway used to be really high risk. They freaked the F out. You know, one guy went across the hallway to like pull another one aside, like you're standing out. And now this guy's got his weapon down. He's looking away from where the main threat is. And he's just like, he's just got body armor. He's just kind of standing limply. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. Oh, and then he remembers, oh yeah, this is dangerous. It's so strange. I doubt they practice at all. Thought their toys would magically get them to stuff like this. Well, that's kind of what I'm interested in, is that like, how do you practice for this? Because like you need to be replicating this scenario and you can't. I mean, you can't. In the same way you can't do academic research on like people under 18. That's why so much research comes out of like university levels. Like, oh, we studied these university kids. It's because you can't study kids. It's pretty tough. It's like you need a bunch of release forms and stuff. You gotta protect them. And so how do cops practice for this stuff? I don't know. I don't think you can. It's there's too many emotions, too much like confusion that starts to emerge because you actually have to take real risk, not simulated risk. The military trains for building combat extraction and stuff. It exists. Yeah, absolutely, Admiral Bones. I agree with you. But that's not what they're doing, is what I'm trying to communicate. Like you can do it, but as you said, like it's in the military. It's in this very cohesive like group, you know, the people know each other. There's often like a camaraderie that's developed, and you're often fighting against, you know, situations that are morally simplistic. I mean, this is actually morally simple. They just got to go in there. Why aren't they? Why aren't they? Also, I feel like the risk of committing a mistake and the repercussion. Yeah, exactly. It's that, like they're absolutely afraid. It's just fear. It's just like nobody's willing to make the risk. Yeah, I guess that's one part that's like we've been able to hear every gunshot, but not, of course, the sounds of the children screaming for reasons that are probably sane. But now look at this. Look at this scene. Just absolute clown show. He's checking his phone. They're like stacked up, but nobody's moving. This guy's just poking his head around the corner. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody talking. Nobody talking. I think that's the part that's so crazy. Like, you watch Gordon Ramsay, and he'll always emphasize, like, why is it silent right now? Why can't I hear you? You know? Like, sheesh. Bunch of dudes who don't know how to communicate. Come on. Do something. It's so weird. So, I don't know, everybody. Let me give this a 2 out of 10. Okay, he's got some keys. There's some sort of conversation happening. We can't hear it. Bro. This reminds me of the cops on the outside look more like training for a carbon monoxide leak. Yeah. Oh, look at that column. Oh, there's a half dozen up there. Oh, man. Oh, good morning, Blue Monday. Oh, boy. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. What was the other thought? They all got that tough boy look with the short hair. Oh, what's happening? Oh, man, he's just fumbling in front of the... I guess at this point, like, it's been communicated it's a hostage situation, and so they're just, like, on stand down mode or something. Dang, man. They also let the shooter walk in armed with no engagement. I've been in traffic stops with more initiative. Yeah, the very first moments we watch the thing crash. 2 people sort of run up, and they see it and they run hard. One guy even falls over, trips over his feet, and they whoa, puff it as hard as they can. And then the shooter walks for like 3 minutes outside, just kind of like wandering about, climbs some fences. He's disoriented. And I don't know who those 2 people are or whether they were armed, but they didn't lock any doors, that's for sure. Like, the dude just strolls right in, and then within moments, like, opens fire. Like, it's insane. And here's the scene. People know about it. There's cops standing around. Wow. What is going on? What? Bro. What do you imagine they're saying? He's got like a document, maybe with the blueprint of the school. I guess they're trying to figure out like all the entry points and exit points. Like, woo! Dang, man. See what I mean? You walk by that and you think there might be a gas leak. Yeah, absolutely. Just like a very... That guy's got like a full-on military helmet. They got the gear, but not the tactics. Not the resolve. And this bullet shield has just been left standing. I didn't even realize. They're not... They just gave up holding the bullet shields. It's just a prop. It's just a prop at this point. It's so weird. Would that even work? Wouldn't it, like, if no one's holding the shield, wouldn't it, like, just bounce off it? Because there's nothing to to stop the kinetic force. It would just hit it, and because there's not much weight behind the shield, it would just and probably hit that guy right between the ribs. Like, it's probably gonna do more harm than good. I don't understand. Columbine was 23 years ago. Let's get all this cool military gear to deal with it, but after training, I mean, we kind of saw what the training was, and it really seems like there was this really, how do I say, like, perverse symbiotic relationship between, like, the right-wing corruption of the courts that kept on pushing the power of police to, like, do what they want, and then police sort of following up with that with increased acknowledgement that they're free to do whatever they want. You know, they can game overtime, they can, you know, drag their feet on an active shooter situation. You know, it doesn't matter. They're not legally accountable. This is the part I want to make clear. This is all legal. None of them are breaking the law. None of them are doing anything that, as far as I'm aware, that is criminally actionable. Like, that's it. Like, look how many guns they have at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're like kicking canisters around. There's so much material. It's rolling around on him. He's got a crate. He's got a milk crate. He's fumbling through a milk crate of, I guess, smoke bombs or stun grenades. What is happening? This is way weird. This is way... Oh, man. Oh, no. DOD is also happy to sell them stuff, I think, through congressional legislation. I believe the LAPD has a tank. Yeah, that's sort of like... from what I understand, though, like, that stuff you really dig into it, and it gets really odd in that, like, the tank parts are made in like 5 different states, and so you have like a block of Congress people who are like sort of always all in on this tank production, even as the army is like, please, no more tanks. No one wants them. No one needs them. It's not helpful. My boyfriend is a Marine, and he hates the militarization of the police since it's just a LARP for them. Same with Proud Boys. Yeah, exactly. It's all the weapon and authority with none of the responsibility. And the military, I'm sure, has lots to say about that balance. Like, that is a very important balance you have to maintain. I mean, I grew up on Battlestar Galactica, so I always remember, like, the Admiral saying, like, once the police see the people as an enemy, then they're essentially acting as an enemy force. Like, they become a foreign military on the grounds. Like, and it's part of why Defund the Police got so popular, is that people are like, cops don't do anything except make things worse, time. And if they, I think, like, what was the what was it, like, less than 50% of murder crimes are getting solved nowadays. Let me see if I can pull that up. Yeah, this is wild to me. Of all the things that police are supposed to do, their most basic task is to catch murderers. Everyone agrees that's probably number one. We can't let murderers go around, so let's give police all the monopoly over violence to stop those crazy people. U.S. homicide clearance rate is at a historic low, less than half in 2020. How? Community policing over American cop style? Yeah, you got those, you got the alligator eating the wrong... You got the alligator's facing the wrong way. Okay, it looks like he's handing over some gear. They've got well over a dozen stun grenades or whatever those canisters are. I'm not really sure. Okay. Yeah, he's checking his phone. The atmosphere in here is like jarring. It is so jarring. It is like a convention center. There's over a dozen cops just kind of like wrapping their heads around the situation. Man, the audio is almost pointless. Yeah, like I haven't heard a single discernible word. So we might actually have to check out the Associated Press because they actually managed to do a transcript. So there might be some, you know, bits and pieces worth looking at. But at this point, I haven't heard anything intelligible. So I think I'm just going to give up on that audio. And I'm not going to put on like Nintendo music as I am wont to do. Man, do these guys got the American flag on them too? Oh man, it better not be a thin blue line. Oh jeez. It's just got a milk crate. Just a milk crate of canisters. What is it doing? You're more likely to stumble on it. Get it out of the way. What's happening? So weird. So weird. Looks like they're having a terse conversation. Bro, what is happening? Okay, there you go. We got it out of the pathway where someone might stumble into the line of fire. Someone's putting on a gas mask. Okay. All right. This is making no sense. We watch with bated breath. We watch with bated breath. At least none of them were wearing cowboy hats, I guess. Quite a few of them are on their phones. Quite a few have gas masks on top of their head. He's fumbling with it now. Can't keep it on his head. It keeps... Okay, I'm going back on that. Watch this officer struggle with his gas mask for almost 30 seconds straight. All right, we see he's trying to put it on. Okay, no, he doesn't want it on. Oh, no, he does want it on. Okay, no, he doesn't want it on. Because he can't really talk well. Oh, but it wants to be on. He can't keep it off. He's trying to get it off, but he can't. He's still fumbling with it. It's falling on his head repeatedly. It's again. Like a dozen times this thing fell on his head. He's still struggling with it. Bro. I think they're still waiting on the key for the unlocked door. Right. I mean, we saw them get into a door. They cleared this room right beside them for some reason. I'm not really sure why. They knew exactly where he was because he returned fire like in the first few minutes. Like it was immediate. Like, oh yeah, he's definitely right there because he almost got us. He shot through the wall and we were not prepared for that. We overextended. Whoops. Let's regroup and try again. And then they didn't try again. And now it's just a dog and pony show. I cannot believe that guy was fumbling with his gas mask for like 30 seconds straight. That was crazy. Why? Is somebody deploying gas mask? Deploying gas? Like what's happening? That one guy organized all the canisters, put them on the ground, and then they just shoved the milk crate right beside it. So now you've got some canisters inside the milk crate and some of it outside. Like this is the symptoms of a system that's kind of broken down. Just lunacy, just utter chaotic, no rhyme or reason to anything. These guys got iron sights. He's got a gas mask. They're going in. Okay, all right. Looks like they're moving forward. The column's moving. Holy cow. Oh my god. Holy cow. We are minute 53. They are retaking the territory. It's happening, everybody. You're here for it. I'm here for it. Oh my god. Something is happening.
They're making entry.
So are they getting anywhere? Okay, looks like they cleared the hallway. Yeah. This guy definitely wish he wore a different shirt. Okay, this is a hallway full of cops. Is that a shotgun? Oh, okay, alright. We looking good. Hallway's looking pretty safe. They're making history? I hope not. Probably we're gonna breach. Alright, here's the US Border Patrol. Wow. Yeah, this scene, this is so... Okay. If you're getting slightly bored watching cops stand around do nothing while they should be doing something, you could follow me on Twitch or TikTok. Produce different content on there. Got a YouTube thing. Oh, what a toss. Add over. Did the guy use the hand sanitizer yet? No, that's what I'm waiting for. Well, not remembering any training, at least he got that hygiene routine. I'm deeply curious. I think this is when it's going to happen because they've sort of secured the hallway now. This guy's got a whole army. Okay, this like they brought in the National Guard or something. Yeah. Like some of them put on gas masks, fumbled with them for a bit, and then it's like, okay, I guess we're not doing this. Are we not doing the hat thing? And then just moved on. Just like, okay. Okay, this is a terse conversation. These are like mall cops. I don't know what's going on. This guy's still like hiding behind the column. He's still a little spooked. They have not taken down the shooter yet. Or maybe that could track, right? Like, we heard some shouting, they went in, they cleared the room, and now everybody's sort of like advanced forward, and the hallway's now the safest room. We know that Border Patrol are on scene. I know, it did look like a speaker, eh? It looked like a boombox. Might be why they shut the body cam off. Yeah, that's a good take. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Dang. I'm curious what content you guys are coming from him. That must have been a real jarring switch. What's this be weird fella doing? Oh god, no. Oh no, it's Satan's lair. He's literally watching ghouls. He's demon watching. Oh fuck, man. Oh god. This guy's walking around waving a dossier. This isn't the time for a paper report, my guy. Okay, a lot of hurried walking. It was ACAB stuff from him too, then random okay, ACAB stuff, so alright, okay, we vibe. I'm about to go see Rage Against the Machine, in a few days actually. I'm really excited. So yeah, it's gonna be good to light a fire under my activist self. Yeah. I think their take is gonna be like, from what I've seen online, it's like indigenous folk face like 10 times the amount of like gun deaths from police or something like that, like some crazy statistic. So yeah, it should be good to, you know, touch grass, see that concert, get fired up. Because a lot of this stuff is, yeah, it's in Canada, it's gonna be in Toronto. I'm taking a train there like in a few days. I would stream on the train, but the internet's terrible. And I'd stream from the concert, but the internet's terrible. It's just not gonna happen. It's like a bunch of people competing for the signal space. So I'll just be touching grass and enjoying myself, having fun. So yeah, they're doing a tour. They're stopping by in Canada. It was delayed because of pandemic, so been a long time coming. And I think this is it. Is there anything else to learn from this besides just like a general malaise? I'll start queuing up the next content. The next segment. Yeah, and the Andrew Tate stuff was really unhinged. We could always go down. I've been wanting to do like a full read of 1 × 1 = 2. Have y'all heard of this? Huh? 1 × 1 = 2? It's the manifesto from Terrence. I should say treatise from Terrence Deshawn Howard. Huh? That could lighten the mood. Oh god. This is probably. I think this would be the grimmest Monday morning I have for a month. I think we just gotta like slowly but surely head to the light from here on out. Square root of 4 is 2, but square root of 2 is not 1. Can't explain that. Ooh. Yo, Admiral Bones dropping knowledge in the chat. Yeah, wait till you hear that birds aren't real. Yeah, there's like 100-page treatise. I don't know how far I could get into it, but every part of it was gold. Every word was amazing. Just absolutely hilarious front to back. Even just skipping through it, I'm like starting to laugh. So yeah, we'll probably look at that after. Oh god, look at the military grunts now. He's fully decked out. He must be hot. Putting on gloves. This is such a bizarre scene. I'm gonna get the audio. It's really annoying. He proved 1 × 1 = 2. All right, it's a proof, not a. What did I say? A thesis. He disproved squares. Squares are the whole reason we can exist. It's a romp. It's a real romp. I've been sort of saving it up, wanting to get into it for a while now. It's like nerd out on a conspiracy theory that no one cares about, basically. Mostly because it's got entertaining math. Okay, these people, this is a fully cleared hallway. This is, everyone's feeling safe. They're patting each other on the back. They literally patted each other on the back as if they did the right thing, like they did good. This guy just hid behind the safest location the entire time. He didn't do anything but stand around and look confused. Why did he get a pat on the back? Oh, there it is! There's the moment! Oh, the guy I'm ripping on. The guy I'm ripping on is like, job well done, washing my hands of this. All right, brother. All right, brother. Truck, yeah, we did it. We got him. We got him, everybody. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Oh, baby. I'm going to secure my helmet because of this safe zone we're in. Like, what? What? Why? Bro, why? How? What state of mind do you, like, no, I haven't seen a single one of them, like, vomit. I think, like, that's kind of what I'm, like, looking for. Any second now, boys. We're hard at work here. Or hardly working, am I right? Anyways, we really should do something about that gum, man. Let me just get my little pausey nice and bacteria-free. Oh, okay, Nosy. Where is... Who's in charge? Oh, wait, you're getting your hands clean? I better get my hands clean, too. I didn't think to do that. They're all sweaty or something. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I don't know, man. 400 cops. 400. And we know from some of the footage that they were just like, what, 24 holding the line, holding the thin blue line outside against teachers? Or like, we gotta defend our position from the teachers, everybody. We gotta hold frame. We ain't letting our position get routed by no parents. Like, what? What's going on? With 400, they didn't even need those ARs to take the dude down. Could have just bum rushed him. Like, that's what I mean. Like, that's normally what would have happened. The dude would have panicked. He could have opened fire, but, like, he would have got one person, maybe. Like, how didn't they... At one point, they had way more than enough. And they're all looking around each other because they knew they had more than enough. That's the part that's so bizarre. They could have bum rushed him 40 minutes ago. I mean, that's what's been such a hard watch about this. Sort of the reason I decided to watch this, there was this stream by Super Eye Patch Wolf, and it's very different content, but he did like a deep dive on Garfield. And there's like a whole like arc where he watches this really bizarre video that's like 4 hours long of like extremely repetitive content from like a survey that they did, that this production company did. It was really bizarre, but like part of what it brought to the table when you watch something in its full, when it's like the full thing stretched out in the raw, is you really experience all those like emotions of like boredom, of like anxiety, and then confusion, and I don't know, you don't get that when you just watch like a news clip, like a 7-minute clip. You know it's gonna be over soon. By the time you've gotten, at this point, like, we've seen like a whole cop convention. They could have like networked and like shared business cards and stuff. That was the atmosphere. That was the sense. That was the feeling. I don't think I would have got that from like a CNN clip, you know, just like, oh, so experts, what were the tactical things that they felt like? You don't need any expert opinion. Any chump could watch this and be like, something's wrong. Something's gone wrong. What's happening, right? Like, I'm just, man. A doctor gave his life to tackle a gunman in a Taiwanese church shooting. To think they volunteered to get a job where that was possible and they did nothing. Yeah. It's just like, I guess like what that makes me think of is that in any institution you have like a system of thought, like a system of ideology that exists, like the soul of it, the sort of the values that drive an organization. And for the medical establishment, like, first, do no harm. The Hippocratic Oath is so much their constitution, and all the values flow from that. All the new ideas and actions all sort of like have at their heart this kernel. And I think everyone's asking themselves, if at the kernel of police it's not protect children from psycho deranged people with guns, what's at the heart of police? What is the kernel? What is their constitution? And I think that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing cops come to realize that they themselves don't believe in their core mission, that they themselves have become trapped by their own culture and are sort of going through the motions without understanding their own behavior. It's really bizarre to watch. I really want to know if any of them were sleeping well at night. That'd be psychopath confirmed. I mean, they didn't want us to see this footage. They tried their best. Yeah, right? Like, this footage is coming because, like, a news agency got it somehow? Like, how are we seeing this? They volunteered to give out traffic tickets and harass donors. This kind of thing would never happen in my town. I mean, I think one of the parents even got threatened with a arrest and like had to talk her way out of it or something. Like, imagine citing any of the parents over this. Like, it's kind of diabolical. So yeah, that's kind of what's been animating my interest in this. I'm sorry it's so morbid. I just had to know. Just like, what does it look like to see an entire institution? Because they're all doing stuff, right? They're doing or not doing. They all know who they are, where they are, why they're there. They all got through the door. They all recognize each other based off of their uniforms. They all are part of some sort of command structure. That command structure is reinforced through words and deeds, and so it's so odd to see a culture just like have just fallen into this inactive, this just like absolute loss of all principles. Like, why even be a cop? If like, how did they not all resign? I'm surprised there weren't mass resignations. Have you seen Matt McConaughey's speech at the White House? Yeah, it was. I tried to avoid it for a pretty long time because I'm like, heard they're actors, but then I learned he's from Uvalde, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right, I'll listen to it. And then I watched it, and I'm like, oh, nope, 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 nope. Like, yeah, he communicated it. He really, like, symbols matter, and he chose a good one. What was it, like the sneakers, the green sneakers, used to identify one of the kids? And it's like, America does actually have to look at what they're doing, what they've created. They got to look at it in the face. And wow, look at that gun. That is a full-on sniper. And I don't know. I just finished a book called The Next Civil War, and the takeaway was like, America is built on contradictions, and those contradictions go back to its beginning, and it will never resolve them. It will just like manifest them. And the only thing we can really hope on is the revolutionary spirit in America to redefine itself, to sort of come up with a new compromise. But oh man, this is bad stuff. But if you say the bad acronym, that's bad messaging. Me and ACAB Sayer, I think piss poor police work is bad messaging. Yeah, this is very much like the Catholic Pope is coming to Canada to sort of like try to ease tensions between the Catholic Church and Indigenous folk in Canada. And it's just like, I guess you can try, but people got memories, you know? Like, it's really hard to put the toothpaste back in the box. Unironically, I think that's why we actually got legislation passed this time. It's true. There was a law that was passed, which is incredible. Actually incredible that gun legislation was passed in America. I can barely believe it. Absolutely wild. Was it like a 20-year drought then, that stuff? Oh, yo. So yeah, I mean, is there are we gonna learn anything else from? Oh, geez, like I think at this point it's pretty clear that they've done in the shooter. I think that's kind of where the relaxed attitude's coming from. That would explain like the hand washing, which is still insane and psychotic, but like I think it's because they got the guy and then like the tension came down. So I don't know. We got a couple reactions lined up, and then I was thinking of looking into this. I want to try to look into JJ McCullough. He's like this Canadian YouTuber I've never heard of, that Chuck Is Not Terrible mentioned. And he's like part of the alt-right pipeline, allegedly. We'll see. And he's got a video which is how Canada should end. So I'm like, okay, you've already got me hooked. I just finished a book about the next civil war in America. Tell me more, everybody. I know so much about secession movements, and hell, I'm streaming from Quebec. Let's go. Tell me about Wexit. I want to know more. So we've got that, and then if that's kind of lame or whatever, then probably get into the treatise, the Terrence Deshawn Howard, because it is absolutely amazing, absolutely incredible. I'm bored of this. I hate to see it. I can't watch. I don't know how much more I can watch this. It is so boring, and in the worst way imaginable. In like the worst way. This is the last word I want to be using when it comes to police ending an active shooter situation in an elementary school, is the word boring. Like, oh god, oh no, oh jeez. Like, couldn't they do something? They did nothing. At least it's about Canada this time. It seems like a lot of alt-righters, Canadians, are obsessed with the U.S. Yeah, America lives rent-free in our head, but I mean, of course it does. We're America's hat. You know, they're going to invade us for our water at some point. It's going to happen. Like, no spoilers, but the last 3 minutes are when it gets exciting. Okay. Oh, okay. If you're saying there's content, then we'll write it out. We'll write it out full tilt. We won't even 2x it. Just if it's boring and frustrating, then I guess that's the feeling I just gotta sit with it. Everybody, I mean, I asked for this. I asked. I'm doing this to myself and you. So I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna do it right. If the intention is raw, then we got 7 minutes left of this. 7 minutes of like stomach churning, boring anxiety. I don't know. Canada annex Michigan, please. Are you though? Are you really? I don't know. I mean, when America falls apart. Okay, if and when America falls apart, we'll probably get a Republic of Texas, Republic of California, and then like the rest of America will split into two. And that's your chance. That'll be your chance to be like, we're not with the United States of America, and we ain't with the Republic of America. We're gonna secede and join Canada. Come join. You can be Canada's socks. That'll be fun. If you can trade any of the Great Lakes. Is Michigan connected to the Great Lakes? We're kind of... I think Canada's, like, evil arc is we're just going to start monopolizing the water. Like, Canada's going to become an evil empire in, like, the 2100s and after succeeding against an American invasion, will, like, monopolize the world's water supply and sell it at a premium. Like, that's what's next. Take Mexico too, so we can be the t-shirt. I don't think that's how it works. I think you can only join countries up if they're touching. It's I'm sorry, I didn't make this up. This is just how it works, everybody. These are how the national lines are drawn. Yeah. Well, what have you learned, chat? A substantial amount of you have seen a substantial amount of this. So first off, I applaud you for all having very strong stomachs. This is definitely something, definitely not for everyone. Once you take the US, you'll be touching Mexico. I mean, we got Alaska. You know, Alaska's our vulnerable point. We can keep building military skidoos, Arctic, and training the Arctic polar bears, but you know, it might not be enough. It just might not be enough. All right. What did we learn today? What did we learn? What did you learn from this footage? Here we go. Cops are cowards. Cops are the only thing saving society. Oh, I can't do it that long. Thin blue line, right? Yeah. They what's the third option? Cops are not very good at their job. Oh, I can't put that. All right, here we go. Let's see. Content does not meet guidelines. Damn. Scaredy cats. Okay. All right, there we go. Is there a thin blue line Canadian flag yet? Oh, I don't think we got stripes in our flag. I don't think it really makes sense. But there is absolutely... I mean, the reason I follow this is because I'm seeing it affect Canada. There was a big brouhaha, I think, with Albertan provincial police forces. I might be wrong on this, but it was some police force out west. And they were getting into it with their council, essentially, with the political body that oversaw them, being like, no, we need to keep we gotta keep our thin blue line patches. How else are we gonna know that we're the good guys? I can't do my official police business unless I am got a Punisher tattoo on my neck. Like, all right, let's see here. Yeah, okay. It looks like, yeah, cops are scaredy cats, it seems. Yeah, that's what we learned, everybody. So one person learned one new thing. All of us, we all knew this already, I guess. So I just find it so odd. They're still doing columns and stuff. Like, what's going on? Don't tell me the shooter's still alive. No. 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 Oh, you're. Oh, don't show me this. Don't show me this. What the hell is that? What the hell is that? I don't want to see that. That sucked. Thin blue line between a cop and his wife. Yeah. It's crazy. There's like a dozen different line colors to represent different here. Yeah, Admiral Bones, what are you doing? Just because I tried to ruin your day doesn't mean you should try to ruin my day, okay? The day ruining is unidirectional. It goes that way. I'm supposed to start my stream with 1 or 2 people in the chat and end my stream with 20 to 30 ruined days. You know, that's my goal at the beginning. Just a slow accretion of sadness. I think one of the things I want to work on making, we might have to do red lines for firefighters. Oh, that's a new one. I haven't seen that before. I think I want to do an art stream because I'm really bad at art. I could probably use some help from chat. And I was thinking, because it's such a frequent thing for me to look at disturbing content, is to create like the circles of hell, like the different concentric circles as you go down. Like, we're definitely at the 9th circle of hell. That's why everybody's frozen. Nobody's doing anything. You know, it's so deep in hell, there's no fire, it's all ice, you know, that kind of thing. And that way it can help communicate to my audience just like how heavy the content is, because I don't know, I feel for the people who, like, you know, they're part of a raid or something, or they just like click on something and like I've moved on from the main title and you're running into some like super heavy content. Just like, bro, I don't know if I can do this right now. But we had a little bit of a content warning. I don't know, man. My art, 2D or 3D? Oh my god. He was alive the whole time. Oh my god. Oh my god, tears like welled up. They're blurring part of it. I am so confused now. I am so confused. What? That's how it ends? What did we just... No! What? Then what was all of this? What was all of this? Are you for real? What? No. He was alive the entire... You mean this part where the guy's just chilling and looking at his phone and washes his hands? And they're just kind of... No. 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 No, chat. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, that hit so... I was not ready. I was just not prepared for that. I was just not ready for that. Oh my god. It was like the beginning, I scrubbed through the content because I didn't want to do anything TOS, and so I steeled myself. I knew it was coming at the beginning. And actually, when we watched it, I had to skip through it. It was too hard. It was way too hard. This came out of nowhere, and it just put the last 45 minutes into such a different... Oh man, I'm so much more uncomfortable now. Oh my god, I'm so uncomfortable. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Chad. No. Fuck. No. Oh my god. Cause I just I guess like after 30-40 minutes, like the adrenaline went out of me. I lost the anxiety, that my palms stopped sweating. We started talking about other things. Got a little bit distracted. I mean, there was that high five like right before he washes his hands. Like he was patting him on the back like they got the guy. I don't understand. No. 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 Yeah, I can see why they wanted to hide the... Oh, I can see why they didn't want people to see that. It's part of why I wanted to watch it. It's like, what did they get up to? He fucking... He just fist bumped him? Oh, stop. Stop. Oh, I can't... Oh, no. No, Chad. Is that the guy at the phone? The one in the checkered... No, I don't know which one was the phone. I didn't actually find that particular clip, even though we were watching it. Like I said, like I got kind of bored. It was a cop convention. They're just kind of chilling. Maybe the dude is consoling him because of his wife. That's a good take. Yeah, I always appreciate it when people are trying to find... Even in an insane, like the system's obviously broken, the cops are bastards, the system's fucked. Like they're still humans, right? Like there still might be sane reasons for some actions. Don't read too much into the body language. We're not body language experts, all that jazz. But damn, that fist bump, the atmosphere. Like you can't, like I don't, like we're not body language experts, but. Like, you can feel a vibe. You can get, like, he doesn't feel... When he turns his back, he's not afraid of what's behind him. So what the fuck was this? What? Bro. It's like, did someone communicate? Like, hey, I guess we're just gonna go in, or did he just surprise his colleagues? Just like enough is enough, we're going in. It looks like they're surprised. Okay, I'm glad we wrote it out. I'm glad we... Yeah. Yeah, look at this. Looking at his phone. This is moments before the shooter's taken down for real. They still heard it going on? Well, we can hear all the gunfire. So I feel like there was a huge lull, but I guess you would be hearing the screams, right? Of course, you'd be hearing people screaming out. Yeah, I don't know how. There'd be groans and stuff. Yeah, there'd be a whole like sonic background. But these guys back here might not be able to hear it because of all of the echoes and stuff like that. But this moment right here, absolute shock. No one sees it coming. No one sees it coming. Surprise. Surprise. This is complete surprise. Look how many of them reach for their guns. They don't know what's happening. Wow. Wow. Whoa, Mike. Oh, wow. This changes everything. Oh, man. I mean, I had a hard-line opinion before, but now it's like... It's something else. I don't know. I see why people are getting radicalized. This is... Like, we went from this guy standing out front like a goon. Absolutely terrible choice right here, tactically. And, like, somebody getting in there and sort of pulling him over and like, no, you gotta get behind cover, man. You gotta protect yourself. And then it would just slowly build up safety but then it just becomes like this cop convention. Just like something shifts from this moment where like they are actively engaged and they're actually like in the situation, and then they're like, okay, cooling down, trying to maintain our safety, and then it just goes off the rails. I cannot believe. Wow. Sorry, that really disturbed me. That's fun. Oh man. Well, I mean, I quit my job, so I mean, that's why I'm happy they took out the screams. Like, I don't think anybody needs to hear that shit. That's not fair. That's not cool. Like, I don't know, man. We don't need to know. Okay, so Associated Press has some details. Because the audio was so scuffed, I'm going to be looking for any specific text that they were able to sort of pull out. We'll see what we can learn, and then we're going to put this to rest and move on with our day. We're going to move up and out from the ninth circle of hell. My goodness, my gracious. All right, so this is 11:33. Ramos enters from the hallway, fires more than 100 rounds over about 4 minutes. Wow. 3 city police officers who have 2 rifles enter through the same door. Arredondo and 2 more city police officers enter through the building's south door. Then 3 more city police officers and another officer from the school district enter through the west door. So it looks like they're covering like all the bases. The next minute, he fires 11 rounds as officers approach the classroom doors. So 1/10 of what he just fired at kids, according to school surveillance footage. McCraw said 2 officers received grazing wounds from Ramos. I'm sure you saw one of them kept calling the police, begging for help. Yeah, I came across that story. Poor kids, they're probably taught to trust the police with their lives. Yeah, Volpixel full. That was my take on this. Like, I think it's actually my pinned tweet right now. Wait, did people actually think that the police were going to protect children? Wait a minute. Like, hold up. An unknown officer says he's contained in this office, said state police. Doomer emote. Yeah, good idea. I should get a Doomer emote. That's one thing. I'm trying to get my niece to like design some fresh emotes. I have like a few that are all right. And you can subscribe if you want access to it. Yeah, Loud Tyrant Youth, how's your nap? How you doing? How's it going? I got a raid from Heem. So a bunch of poor souls have been, I don't want to say forced, but kindly coerced, encouraged to watch probably some of the most insane content, some of the most absurd, disturbing stuff they'll watch this week.
The liars are lying, and they will continue lying until you believe the lie.
Yo, thanks for the subscribe, Trudy Maid. Yo, you're lovely. Trudy Maid's always hanging out. Oh, so lovely. Thanks so much. Appreciate that. 2 months. Let's go. Building on up. One of the kids thought it took the police over an hour to get there. Oh my God. Yeah, that would break anyone. I don't think you have to be a kid for that to break you. That's just kind of... I don't know. It's game over. I don't know what to say. Like, you don't come back from that. Like, as a kid, you'll never trust police ever again. Like, I can't imagine you would. Just like, yeah, ACAB for life at that point. It's just not. You're never gonna fix that. No amount of community policing is gonna fix that. So some officer said he was contained in his office. Such a lovely place to be stuck. Yeah. Are you the devil? Loud Tyrant Youth? No, of course not. No. I mean, unless Loud Tyrant Youth identifies that way, but I don't think she does. Arredondo calls Uvalde police landline, state police said, citing phone records. 35 seconds later, Ramos fires 1 round. According to a transcript of the call released by state police, Arredondo says he's in the building and a man, quote, has an AR-15 he shot a whole bunch of times. He says they're inside the building and the shooter is in a room, adding, quote, I need a lot of firepower. So I need this building surrounded with as many AR-15s as possible. Already off to a bad start. No, I'm not Satan. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you asked the devil if he was the devil, he's not allowed. He's not allowed to tell you. It's like he has to lie to you. A whole watch the world burn vibe. Yeah, Volpixelful. I'm very much struggling not to become doomer pilled or black pilled. Very much the comedian vibe from The Watchmen. You know, just I'm not going to fix the world, but at the very least, you know, I can learn from others, or we can have some safe spaces to sort of watch the world burn, I guess. And like, I don't know, agree that that's not good together. And maybe that will help us figure out what is good and that we find precious in our own communities and stuff like that. I don't know. Okay, so Aridano tells the dispatcher he doesn't have a radio with him. Aridano says he's in the hallway, that the shooter is in rooms 111 and 112. He says, we need this place surrounded, and if you have SWAT, I need them set up. Tells the dispatcher, we don't have enough firepower right now. It's all pistol, and he has an AR-15. He says he needs a radio and a rifle. Okay, so that explains one of the stories we may have heard. The next minute, a city police officer says, we believe that he is barricaded in one of the offices. They're still shooting, according to body camera footage. When dispatch asks if the door is locked, a city police officer replies by referring to a specialized crowbar, saying, quote, I am not sure, but we have a hooligan to break it. They had one? Oh, every piece of this. Of course they had one. If you don't know what these things are, it's like a specialized tool. We watched some videos when this first broke. We watched some firemen like break into doors that had like metal bars and stuff, and they like broke into a door like in 2 minutes. It's crazy. It's crazy. And so they had like literally the tool to like get in there. Oh man. Oh, this is so insane. School surveillance footage shows 4 first responders entering from the east hallway, 2 constables, a fire marshal, and a Uvalde city police officer. We saw that. A state trooper and 2 city police officers enter from the east hallway. Ramos fires 1 round. A city police officer says, quote, have some officers that are available to get everybody back. 4 minutes later. Even training. Well, the thing that I'm learning in school, I'm studying educational technology, and it's really interesting. They are hammering home that training does not work. Training, don't do nothing, doesn't work. There's like 90% of the industry is like all about training and stuff, and like doesn't work when you're trying to improve human performance. So and this is kind of why I'm trying to imagine what training the police could have received to get them there. And I guess the only example came in chat, which was like, yeah, the military does this stuff. You know what I mean? Like the military knows how this works, but that's a whole nother kit bang caboodle. All right, 11:48 a.m. Body camera footage shows school district officer Ruben Ruiz, the husband of one of the teachers in the classrooms where Ramos was holed up, enters the building through the west door and tells officers, quote, she says she is shot. Wow. 5 words. 5-word story. She says she is shot. His wife, Eva Morales, later dies. McCraw said on June 21, quote, what happened to Ruiz is he tried to move forward into the hallway, he was detained, and they took his gun away from him, and they escorted him from the scene. God. I know it. I know this. I know it. I remember him saying that, but again, every time. Okay, the next minute. Training is hard because in the moment we go to our baseline, military training to change that baseline through conditioning. Yeah, Pixelful. I think that what I've heard, at least there's a saying amongst firemen that is like, and I love this, it's so good. It's like, we don't rise to the challenge, we fall back to our training. And like when you go into it and you try to figure out what makes good training, it's often like, you got to be able to do the thing itself in as close to the target environment as possible, and then drill the hell out of that, and then have an expert help you like break it down and think about it. There's like a balance between doing the thing, getting the raw practice, and like, you know, breaking it down and looking at it from another angle with hopefully with another expert or someone who's familiar. And even in some ways, you can like talk someone through expertise. But I don't know. I don't think you can fix this. I think you got to tear this whole system down. Like, there's something deeply flawed. A few minutes later, an unknown officer says, quote, "They need to get out of the hallway." A city police officer responds, quote, "Chief is in there. Chief is in charge right now. Hold on." It's unclear who the officer is referring to. The city police chief was on vacation that day. Jeez. Jeez. Chief is in there. Chief is in charge right now. Hold on. But he was in vacation. This is why we're reading this. I did not get any of this information while watching that. I mean, I get you can't expect average cops to have military training, but they had a SWAT team. Yeah, you're right, Admiral Bones. They had a SWAT team. They should have been prepared military style. They had the military style. They had the tactical gear. 7 border patrol agents entered through the west door. The first ballistic shield is brought into the building through the west door. Body-worn camera footage captures a city police officer saying, quote, "Units just showing up. Can you help with crowd control?" McCraw said on June 21st. So officers after 11:52 were being diverted to crowd control activities. Body camera footage shows an unknown officer telling a DPS special agent that all they currently need is perimeter. Someone comments about whether there are still kids inside, and the DPS special agent responds, quote, "If there is, then they just need to go in." 11:53. Wow, so they knew. They know we know. According to body camera footage, DPS special agent asks an unknown officer, quote, "Are kids still in there?" The unknown officer responds, "It's unknown at this time. Go find out." A city police officer says, quote, "He's in classroom 111 or 112, but Chief is making contact with him. No one has made contact with him." According to body camera footage, an unknown officer says, quote, "Y'all don't know if there's kids in there?" A DPS special agent replies, "If there's kids in there, we need to go in there." The unknown officer says, "What's that?" The DPS special agent says, quote, "If there's kids in there, we need to go in there." The unknown officer says, "Whoever is in charge will determine that." How? I'm just following orders. And I haven't gotten the order. What? Wouldn't you risk like getting disciplined? Isn't that worth getting disciplined? And it sounded like from like the surprise that went through the crowd, like somebody did just kind of go in there. According to a phone recording, when an unknown officer asks where the shooter is, another unknown officer replies, quote, "The school chief of police is in there with him." According to body camera footage, a DPS special agent says, quote, "It sounds like a hostage rescue situation. Sounds like an undercover rescue. They should probably go in." 100%. They could have taken point 2 if they knew what the next move reasonably they could have taken point. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely love Tyrant Youth. Like, that was the part that I found so shocking, was they gave up ground and then didn't try to recover that ground at all. According to body-worn camera footage, when a DPS special agent says he wants to clear more rooms, an unknown officer says, quote, "Don't you think we should have a supervisor approve that?" The DPS special agent replies, "He's not my supervisor. They're quibbling." I don't know. I don't know if he's got rank on me. We're at 12:03 p.m. A 911 call from a student inside the classroom comes in, according to a phone recording. School surveillance shows a second ballistic shield being carried into the building through the west door, and McCraw said on May 27 that at this time, as many as 19 officers were in the hallway near the room where the shooter was holed up. McCraw said on June 21st that the girl who called at this time, who said she was in room 112, was the only uninjured child in that room. In that room, 8 children and 2 teachers were killed, and 9 children were injured, he said. Wow. 9 children could have been saved at the very least when they got that call. Yo. I think he's not my supervisor, guys. The one who went in and killed the shooter. Well, if he's quibbling about who's got the authority, maybe it was because he's trying to figure out what's stopping him from going in and ending this. Maybe that's the take, right? Like this, you can't go too hard on the interpretations, but damn, man. School surveillance shows a third ballistic shield being carried into the building, and we saw them being like just kind of propped up uselessly, no one even holding it. 12:06 p.m. Anne Marie Espinoza, a spokeswoman for the Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District, posts on the district's Facebook page, quote, "All campuses are under a lockdown status. Uvalde CISD parents, please know, at this time, all campuses are under a lockdown status due to gunshots in the area. The students and staff are safe in the buildings." Oh, God, no. Why'd you say that? Why'd you say that? The buildings are secure in a lockdown status. Your cooperation is needed at this time by not visiting the campus. As soon as the lockdown status is lifted, you will be notified. Thank you for your cooperation. This is actually one of the most Kafka-esque things I've ever read. Man, oh my God. Like, some of the parents were legit being gaslit. It's like, fuck that, I don't need his approval. Yes, it should have been like low on. Yeah, exactly. I don't need no one's approval to save a kid. What? Oh, man. Oh, there's a lot of new information in this report. According to body camera footage, just to have it pieced together in a timeline like this slaps so much differently, because I've been a little confused about the minute-by-minute stuff. A city police officer says, quote, "Go around and get the master key to the rooms." Okay. 12:10, members of a U.S. Border Patrol tactical team begin arriving. According to body camera footage, the first group of deputy U.S. Marshals from Del Rio arrived from nearly 70 miles, 115 clicks, away to assist the various law enforcement officers already on scene, according to the Marshals Service. The female student who called 911 at 12:03 p.m. calls 911 again and says there are multiple dead, McCraw said on May 27th. 12:11. Arredondo requests the master key, according to body camera footage. 12:13. The female student who called 911 earlier calls 911 again, McCraw said on May 27th. Fucking within minutes. 12:14. Arredondo tells officers to have a sniper on the east roof, and we saw that guy with the sniper. Yeah. I guess I just didn't process that. Del Rio, 100 clicks away. That's like an hour drive. Maybe 45 minutes, 40 minutes going at cop speed. Oh my God, make it stop. A Border Patrol tactical team member enters the building, according to school surveillance footage. 12:16. Arredondo says, "I just need a key." The female student who called 911 earlier calls again. This is like her fourth phone call. And says there are 8 to 9 students alive, McCraw said on May 27th. According to body camera footage, Arredondo says, quote, "Tell them to obscenity wait. No one comes in." Chat. What? No. No one comes in? Was he in there with... What? Wait. What? No one comes in. And someone else is saying it was like a hostage situation. He's in there with them? Was there like a hostage situation and it went wrong and then they blew him up? Like, what? That might explain why it was taking so long. He was in there. I don't understand this at all. I don't understand this. This is new information for me. This is new. This is crazy. This is one of the most bizarre lines. Tell them to effing wait. No one comes in. How? After the fourth call? Yeah, like when we think about the families, but a bunch of kids lost their best friends. I mean, they lost all... I mean, imagine growing up and... Like, elementary school is kind of where you learn that people who are not your parents are safe. Teachers can be safe. That janitors can be safe. that the nurse can be safe, that administrators, secretaries can be safe, the principal, although he's scary and he has a lot of authority, he's still kind of safe and he still actually cares about you. That's gone. And when you lose that, like the whole town loses that. It's not just the kids who will never be able to recreate that. It's like the whole town loses this concept of, we built an entire society to do this one thing and we don't have it. We don't have it. We don't have it. Where do my kids go? Where do I go now? I don't feel safe. Yeah, the ones that are at the school, they're just not going to go back to school. Yeah, how many just don't go back to school? That's it. That's what I'm thinking, right? They'll just be homeschooled, or I don't know, they'll learn off of TikTok. Sorry, my nose is acting up. So a girl in room 111 calls 911, excuse me, and ends the call when a fellow student tells her to hang up. 12:20, a fourth ballistic shield is brought into the building through the west door, according to surveillance. The shooter fires 4 rounds. According to body camera footage, Arredondo says, quote, "Can you go get a breaching tool, like for a trailer house?" He doesn't even know what it's called. A hooligan. McCraw said during his June 21st testimony, "So if this is a barricaded subject, why is he still firing?" McCraw said on May 27th that at this time, officers moved down the hall. So that must have been when it was all like full up. According to body camera footage, Arredondo says, quote, "We've lost 2 kids. These walls are thin. If he starts shooting, we're going to lose more kids. I hate to say, we have to put those to the side right now." Oh man, I'm trying not to scream at you, chat. I'm trying really hard not to scream right now. Like, oh my God, how? We have to put those to the side? You know that thing we used to bust into those poor people homes? Yeah, like, you know, like that thing we used to terrorize poor folk? Like, okay, everybody, just imagine that this is a drug dealer's classroom. A lot of these quotes are really bizarre, and I can see why he lawyered up hard. I can see why he lawyered up. I hate to say we have to put those to the side right now is like absolutely going to get him into trouble. I can only imagine. Arredondo tries to communicate with the shooter in English and Spanish. Quote, "The entire communications was always one way. The suspect never communicated, so it wasn't communication we're talking at," McCraw said on June 21st. An unknown officer says, quote, "There's a teacher shot in there." A city police officer replies, "I know." He literally says trailer house. Yeah. I guess I didn't dig into that hard enough, Admiral Bones. Thank you for picking that out and really like, what's that thing that we use specifically for the poorest among us when we need to evict them? Oh yeah, that thing that goes through steel and wood. Yeah, let's get that thing. Holy shit. Arredondo says, quote, "People are going to ask why we're taking so long." Bro, I don't even know what to say. We're trying to preserve the rest of the life. Copium. Do we have a team ready to go? Have at it, he says. Arredondo, the next minute, says, "There is a window over there, obviously. The door is probably going to be locked." So he doesn't even know. And he was asking for the... "That is the nature of this place. I am going to get some more keys to test." He then says, "These master keys aren't working here, bro. We have master keys and they're not working." So he's panicking because the whole school, from what I understand, like their doors automatically lock to like protect this from this sort of thing. But just so happens that room 111 or room 12 has a malfunctioning door locking mechanism. And so he's panicking, testing on the wrong thing, and he's got the wrong keys. And he's like, "Do we have a team ready to go?" And he's the one in charge. And what's he worried? He's worried that people are going to start asking questions. That's what's going on here. Arredondo, part of it, is saying, people are gonna notice. I don't know if we're gonna get away with it this time, you guys. Like, I don't know. We're really phoning it in here. I don't know. Holy cow. Okay, he then says a few minutes later, okay, we've cleared out everything except for that room. We still have people down there just past the flag to the right, but we're ready to breach, but that door is locked. You just asked for a breaching tool. 3 minutes later, he says, I say we breach through those windows and shoot his obscenity head off through the windows. My man. What are you talking about? Why are you... Yes, go do that. Sounds like a good idea. The hooligan breaching tool is brought into the building through the west door a few minutes later. Then a 911 call that lasts for about 21 seconds comes in. Around this time, a student calls 911 and is told to stay on the line and stay very quiet, McCraw said on May 27th. The girl says he shot the door. 12:38. Arredondo tries again to communicate with the shooter in English and Spanish. This is the part that I am just not understanding at all. This is new information for me. Like, he's like trying to force it into a hostage situation. He's like, no, I can fix this. Everybody, just trust me. I can just talk him out of it. Like a hostage situation. Yeah. I don't see why they were defaulting. No, I don't understand either. It's like he didn't understand what he was up against. The guy's not communicating back. 3 minutes later, Arredondo says, quote, just so you understand, we think there are some injuries in there. And so you know what we did, we cleared off the rest of the building so we wouldn't have any more besides what's already in there, obviously. Bro, he just like washed his hands. He's like, we cleared the rest of the building. So we good. We know there's calls coming in saying there's people bleeding out, like they're alive, and they meant like, but you know, they're probably fine. The shooter's not responding. That's probably a good sign. It means he's willing to communicate, you know? You actually kick a dead bolted door into 400 people. I think the fear was that you don't want to get in front of the door because then you're opening yourself up. But that's where the hooligan tool comes in, because you can be safe and, you know, use the tool. Or you can cover from the windows. I don't know. I'm actually not trained. I don't know. I'm talking out my ass. But, like, come on. Do something. 1 minute later, Arredondo says, we're having an obscenity problem getting into the room because it is locked. He's got an AR-15 and he's shooting everywhere like crazy, so he stopped. I don't know how much of this is true because we just listened to, like, 45 minutes of just... We didn't hear any shots going off. If it takes 30 minutes to get the tool, yeah, absolutely. Like, they didn't seem like they tried very hard. The girl who called 911. Sorry, I just need some water. And we're almost done this article. We'll move on. We'll move on out of the pit of hell. Poor loud tyrant youth. What a trooper. Goes to nap, leaves my stream on, wakes up, and we're still in the ninth circle of hell. 12:43. The girl who called 911 and was told to stay on the line urges the dispatcher to, quote, please send the police now, McCraw said on May 27th. According to body camera footage, Arredondo says, quote, they gotta get that obscenity door open, bro. They can't get that door open. We need more keys or something. 12:46. According to body camera footage, Arredondo says, quote, if y'all are ready to do it, you do it, but you should distract him out that window. McCraw said on May 27th that at this time, the girl who called 911 and was told to stay on the line says she can, quote, hear the police next door. We've spent plenty of time there. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm broken. 12:47. A sledgehammer is brought into the building through the east hallway, according to school surveillance footage. McCraw said on May 27th that the girl still on the line with the 911 dispatcher says, quote, please send the police now. 12:50. Officers breach the classroom and fatally shoot the shooter, according to surveillance footage. McCraw said on May 27th that they breached the door using keys they got from the janitor because the door was locked. He said June 21st, like a month later, that it turned out that the classroom door could not be locked from the inside by design. and there was no indication officers tried to open it during the standoff. He also said a teacher had reported before the shooting that the lock was broken. State police say an hour and 14 minutes went by from the time police entered the school to when the shooter was killed. We did it, everybody. We are now fully informed on probably one of the darkest chapters in American history. I mean, so far. Do we know if this girl even survived? I believe she did. They got body armor, kids didn't. Yeah, the kids can't lock out. Yeah, this is just front to back. I'm glad. I can't remember which chatter said it, but it was like, yeah, make sure you stick it to watch to the end, because I had genuinely thought that maybe they took out the shooter off camera and you just couldn't hear the gunshots, and things had calmed down. I'm fully black pill. Yeah, I'm sorry. Fully black pill. Okay, all right. Well, listen. All right. Look at the next segment. Let me sell you on the next segment, everybody. Okay. We want to look into this character, Viva Frey. I was really into the freedom. I still am. I mean, I literally have a freedom convoy hat. Like, I have a freedom hat. I'm not wearing it today because it's just so bloody hot in Montreal. It's like a 30-degree day. Yeah, Viva Frey, everybody. Viva Frey, live free. He's like this guy who was covering the trucker convoy, and he was a source I was watching, and he seemed kind of okay. He seems all right. Not the craziest, just sort of like out there trying to interview people. He's always trying to be like, does next segment even matter? Does anything? No, it does. It does, Admiral Bones. It's you know how they say you form stronger bonds with people when you share something you disagree about than if you share something you agree about? That's what's happening. We're forming a community, everybody. Look at all the nice. I'm sure you all know each other really well through Heem, but hey, community. So this is Viva Frey. He always did like a good job of trying to at least pretend to be a centrist. And be like, yeah, I'm like open. I've broken them. Yeah, the internet broke me, so you're next. That's kind of it. Some hopium is that people have gone through a lot of messed up stuff, and yet humanity continued. Yeah. I mean, part of the reason I can watch some of this stuff is like, I don't know. I've gone places. Well-spoken lawyer conspiracy sounds better than conspiracies. Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna take a look at him. He seems pretty based, but yesterday's stream was about the Freedom Fest, and he was a main speaker, and he was sharing the stage with some pretty noxious fellows. Like one guy who had to retire from being a judge because like a dozen of the women who had worked for him as like clerks made allegations of sexual harassment. And so he had to quit, and then like the other guy like was just like this trademark lawyer was just an axe to grind. It was weird. And Viva Frey was there. It's just like you read his Wikipedia page, and it's like lawyer who does YouTube. He quit law to do YouTube, and you're like, okay, there's no real skeletons in the closet. So why is he sharing the stage and with like these loons? Oh yeah, that's the thing. He was sharing the stage with James O'Keefe from Project Veritas. And it's like, what's he doing? He keeps on calling himself a journalist, but he's saying that Project Veritas is cool and Alex Jones is maligned. So apparently JJ McCullough is the pipeline. JJ McCullough is where he turned. So we're going to take a look at this fellow who I know nothing about. We're going to learn about it. He's got a new video that sounds like something I might be into. And then we're going to see the one with Viva Frey, which is what's motivating this section. So let's take a look at his collaboration with Viva Frey, because I think we're probably going to see like a Viva Frey that's kind of normal and kind of based.
Hello, friends. Today we are going to
we're probably not going to watch all of this, but damn, does this guy have an awesome background. He's putting me to shame. Holy cow.
The Supreme Court of Canada, which means doing a lot of compare and contrast with the Supreme Court of the United States.
It's the timeline.
Because much like Canada itself, it is impossible to conceptualize the Canadian Supreme Court without first starting with some sort of American reference point. The analogy is
he's got a Canadian accent.
actually quite important in this case because Canada and the United States are quite unusual countries, globally speaking, in terms of just how much power they give to their Supreme Courts in the first place. Both the American and Canadian Supreme Courts have the authority to overturn laws they consider unconstitutional, as well as expand or restrict the meaning of laws or constitutional clauses. This is sometimes called a political system of judicial supremacy, in the sense it gives the Canadian and American judiciaries final say over public policy.
Judge me, daddy.
Which is not a thing that tends to happen as much in other countries. Accordingly, in both Canada and America, it is Supreme Court rulings that have often settled some of the country's most contentious political debates. Same-sex marriage, of course, came to the United States as a result of a Supreme Court ruling, and historically—
He fakes it to make himself more Canadian for his American public? Could be.
the court has played a major role in imposing stuff like racial desegregation, as well as defining concepts like the separation of church and state or freedom of speech. In Canada—
Lol, Lamau, they're getting rid of that. Separation of church and state in America, that's gone.
Meanwhile, our Supreme Court has issued definitive rulings on things like the death penalty, prostitution, doctor-assisted suicide, as well as esoteric Canadian issues like the unique rights of French speakers. And of course, one very big thing both countries have—
I don't think it happens, though. I don't think there was only like one Supreme Court justice and who was threatened with it, and he ended up like resigning or something. I don't think it's ever been successful. Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Common is that their laws governing abortion were largely set by their respective Supreme Courts as well, which is why, incidentally, both Canada and the United States have some of the most liberal abortion laws in the world. But what is also important to realize is that in both Canada and America, this whole setup is relatively recent. This idea that the Supreme Court should play this domineering role in the government of either country is not something that anyone really planned from the beginning, but is rather something that just kind of gradually evolved over time. A few weeks ago, I made an award-winning video about the modern history of the Supreme Court of the United States, so we won't rehash that here. But basically, it only really became super powerful after the end of World War II, and the same was true in Canada. Canada, of course, remained a colony of Great Britain well into the 20th century, and one byproduct of this was that for a long time, Britain remained not only the highest political authority over Canada, but the highest judicial—
Okay, so let's see Viva Frey. So we get an idea
from everyone's favorite Canadian—
Everyone's favorite Canadian, here we go. End of World War II? Nah, fam. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Supreme Court has its roots, at least in American history. It goes really far deep. It just like didn't really have much of a say, you know. Andrew Jackson's the Supreme Court has made their ruling, now let them enforce it, you know, is a good starting point for how little power they had.
Lawyer, Montreal litigator turned YouTuber, Viva Frey, aka David Freiheit. David has a channel where he talks all about legal controversies in both the United States and Canada, so let's see what he's got to say.
Bro, look at how tame his hair is. He looks so normal.
Hello, David. How are you doing?
I'm good, and yourself?
Oh,
what happened?
Anyway, so my question, David, do you buy this idea that the Canadian Supreme Court is so much less political than the American one?
I buy it because I haven't seen it. I don't follow the Canadian Supreme Court at all as much as I follow the U.S. Supreme Court, but it seems that everything is hyper-politicized in the U.S. compared to Canada, although there seems to be a trickle-up effect that I'm noticing since I started doing the vlogs. Perhaps I just never noticed it before and it's always been there, and I'm only noticing it now that I'm sort of fully immersed in it. But I do see that whatever we see happening in the States, in some sense, comes to us a little later, a little more diluted, but we take an influence from the social political scene that's going on in the United States.
Yeah, but it doesn't really affect our laws, though, you know? Oh, maybe he was talking about Canada. Marbury v. Madison was 1803, and that determined that they get to make decisions, essentially. They upheld segregation in the late 1800s. Yeah, that wasn't that Brown v. Board? Marbury v. Madison, why do I know that? That was a big one. Yeah.
What it seems on the Supreme Court, it just seems, I don't know if there's less like hyper-political questions of law that are working their way up, or if the court itself, just by enforcing the overall law of the land, doesn't really need to get political or doesn't get infused with politics. It just seems that it's not. And even when there are sort of split decisions or decisions where there's more than one judge dissenting, it tends to look like it's, you know, on the law and not predictable based on a political model.
So you think that that is possible as a goal, that it is sort of possible to do that kind of sort of purely neutral, objective legal analysis, even when it comes to super contentious questions?
I think it's possible. I think it's difficult. I just think from what I've observed, we have much less of it in Canada, if only because I guess to some extent everything has not been politicized in Canada, whereas I can't think of anything that's gotten to this.
That's what it was. Yeah, Brown v. Board struck it down. That makes more sense. Plessy v. Ferguson upheld it. Yeah, okay, that's what it is. Yeah, not a good situation.
Supreme Court that is not essentially a political dispute at its core, above and beyond the legal questions.
So let me ask you your personal opinion. You know, as we film this, the Amy Coney Barrett sort of nomination hearings are happening in the U.S. Senate right now. What do you personally think of that process?
During Amy Coney Barrett's hearing, Senator Sheldon Whitehouse spent his 30 minutes essentially detailing the way in which dark money had brought Amy to the court, and how dark money was behind many of the amicus briefs, which are like legal briefs on behalf of a friend, that were being put towards the Supreme Court and like altering law. And that might be a really good watch. That or there's an alt-right pipeline video worth watching after this, after we get a feel for Viva Frey before and after.
Do you think that would be something you would object to if it came to Canada? If, say,
so far this has been very tame.
Vote on the nominees that
yeah, Federalist Society, baby, Federalist Society. Yo, they're such an interesting. If you ever get the chance to read the book Dark Money by Jane Meyer, you're gonna learn all sorts about the coctopus, the Koch brothers' tentacles, and every little thing. Barrett as well. She's a member of the far-right Catholic group The Handmaid's Tale is based on. I know. It's so. I mean, this is why I started streaming. It was just like, America sure is going through some stuff. I'm pretty sure it's only going to get weirder from here. I better put an eye on that, because dang.
Prime Minister put forward to be on our Supreme Court?
I think it's a great idea. It's a great system. It's a great way to do a due diligence on a judge who's going to be, holding the highest judicial position in the country. Yeah, and I think also it's great from getting the public to participate in it. The nastiness of how it gets political and how it becomes politicized is the downside. The upside is that people know the judges, they get familiar with the judges and their histories, they get familiar with the questions that might be coming to the Supreme Court in the future and how these judges might adjudicate on them, and it gets people participating in the process and taking an interest in it.
The Canadian Bar Association.
Yeah, a video by Zoe B. Alt-Right Pipeline 2, Electric Prager U. I think we'll watch that next. That seems really interesting.
Tends to really be against this kind of thing, and anytime that the government has even made the smallest tiptoes in that kind of direction, sort of opening up the nomination process for judges to the Supreme Court, they've really come down very hard against this idea of Americanization and politicization. Do you so you don't necessarily think that those two things are sort of inseparable? That sort of as you sort of open up for accountability, you inevitably sort of politicize the system?
Well, so. And now it's sort of, I go back to the Kierkegaard expression that life can only be understood backwards but has to be lived forwards. I've understood now in retrospect when everyone says that it is a political process nonetheless in Canada, which Prime Minister appointed or recommended the Supreme Court Justice, and we therefore sort of view the judgments rendered by those judges through those blinders or through that prism. So I don't think it's less political to have a one person appointing a judge or one politician appointing a judge than to have Parliament having their say in who gets through and who doesn't. It's no different to have it be subject to the majority of a certain group of politicians listening to it as opposed to one politician with a political orientation picking it.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, very tame, very middle of the road. None of this is kind of shocking. This is 2020. All right, so I think we've gotten a really good feel. We got a nice baseline for both of these fellows. Kind of all right. Seems pretty normal. 150,000 views. Okay. All right, I'm not, my eyes aren't popping. I'm not too weirded out. Let's see Viva Frey's most recent footage. Any video that he has put out. Here we go. Let's see what he's like now. Woo! Woo! That energy. Oh, that energy. Oh, boy. Oh, man. That energy. Oh, damn. One more time. He's coming to chat. He's coming for you. Chat. He's got thoughts. He's got a script. He's got an opinion. He's got a camera. His baby's not with him. It's just him and the camera. Look at this. This is so intense. Oh, man. It'd be cool if the president picked one and we had a nationwide election to approve rather than Senate approving, like straight popular vote. At least it'd be voted up. He has some sussy. I want to know if he was weird and JJ knew about it. I mean, I think it's been one of those slow poison things. The lack of social safety nets in the U.S. pretty much left pockets of poverty. Yeah, like food islands and stuff, where people could be radicalized to the right and make everything politicized to get votes, it seems. Yeah, like, what is it? Newt Gingrich? I want to make the government small enough so I can drown in a bathtub. Like, that's what's been going on. Starve the beast, and then, oh, looks like you need private business to fill you in. Well, me and my buddies... We sure can drop regulations to make my buddy's business fix your problem that we created. Like, oh jeez. But okay, let's see Viva Frey, how he is now. All of West Virginia. I haven't done enough traveling through America. I've only been to like Florida and New York, so I don't know very much.
When someone does a legal breakdown of the whistleblower complaint against Donald Trump and goes into incredible detail, yet fails to mention the small detail that Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son, was receiving $50,000 a month for being a board member of the energy company that was at the heart of the Ukrainian corruption scandal, I'm sorry, Legal, welcome to Political Biasville.
Holy shit, he's triggered. Oh my god. Legal Eagle's doing good, and he just fucking flipped. Oh no. Leave Hunter Biden alone. Hunter, absolute Chad energy. Oh man. Oh no. Oh jeez. My mom, it was my mom's choice, okay? And she chose that because her father owned one of those old folks' homes. It was like free lodging. And we drove it. We drove the whole way there and back. It was a crazy trip. So I gotta see a bit of America. Yeah, this is some big. He is big, man. He's big, man.
You.
Oh my god.
Viva Frey, Montreal litigator turned YouTuber. I do these things called vlogs where I do my utmost to break down and explain things that are going on in the legal world in terms that can be...
Yeah, I was a child. It was outside of my control, okay? I didn't have a choice when I visited America if I was going to Florida or California. I just I was a kid. I just wanted to play video games, okay?
Understood by lawyers and non-lawyers alike, but in the most objective and politically neutral manner possible. And this is not the first time I have taken issue with the biased legal...
This is so good. I'm so glad that we watched him with JJ before, because dang, oh man, his vibe check. He's failing the vibe check, chat. Oh yeah, Burisma, the company the corrupt prosecutor Shokin was taking bribes from to delay the investigation, and then Biden forced the Ukraine to oust and replace him so they can investigate Burisma harder. Yeah, Neptune's folly. Like, if you actually really follow this stuff, which clearly you and I both do, like, it's so good that Rudy Giuliani's like going there to try to work with the guy who got ousted. Like, no. It's the deep state. It's the deep state. Yeah, Legal Eagle has got like a set, and he shows up in a suit. This man is angrily getting into his car. Like, come on. Oh, he beat the Marxist, Leninist, and NDG? No, stop. Wait, stop. Indochina.
Interpretations provided by Legal Eagle, although I still get a ton of useful information out of his videos. A while
Is that
back,
a
he did an
promotion,
interpretation of that scene from the Marvel movie Captain America or something, which I thought was...
He didn't beat the mech. You're messing with me, Chuck. You're messing with me right now.
Fraught with bias. And I did a response video addressing what I thought to be that bias, and I'll link that video right here. This is all sort of tongue-in-cheek and not to be taken too seriously, and I do appreciate that there are certain subject matters that are just so fraught with politics that they will necessarily lend themselves to accusations of bias either by act or omission. And this is intended to be more humorous than an actual critique, but I am going to point out two fundamental flaws in Legal Eagle's video that demonstrate what I think happens to be a political bias in his view and interpretation of the law world.
Yes, come on, Viva Frey.
And yes, I'm in the car today because weekends at home, when kids are home and kids have friends who are home.
Bro, stop. Whoa, no, chat, no. I don't want to dox myself, but chat, I could have voted for this guy. Everyone does the car thing. Like, so many people recording from their cars. The funniest shit is that happened just when I got into politics, so it's literally something I knew too much about before it was politically relevant. So now I hear these conservative lunatics go on about it, and it's like, well, yeah, y'all don't know shit. Yeah, the Hunter Biden stuff, like the whole Burisma story, that goes way back. Because I followed that in the Euromaidan. I am freaking the F out. This guy was in, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I cannot believe I could. Bro, how are we from like the same? Well, I guess I'm not from here, but what? How do you live in Montreal and you turn out the way you did? What? You're wearing a shirt that says Vlog Dog, and both vlog and dog are spelt incorrectly.
Just say.
You never changed your address when I lived on Draper, but you could have voted. You should have voted for David. Because then maybe he would have become a politician instead of whatever this is, where he's doing far more harm, it seems.
The quietest or most productive environment in which to get vlogging done, but I'm doing this video today, heck or high water. That's right, I said heck or high water so that this video doesn't get demonetized yet again, but it probably will because that's the way this thing doesn't matter. Now, admittedly, this is an extremely complex matter that I don't think can be done justice to, no pun intended, in one video. And all that I'm going to do in this video is read through the whistleblower complaint with my legal reflexes as an attorney in terms of the wording, in terms of the structure, and in terms of the...
It's the Top Dogs Law Vlog.
The substance. And we will get into some of the necessary context, and I will get back to the two elements that I think reveal Legal Eagle's bias in his interpretation. But by and large, incidentally, if you haven't seen Legal Eagle's video on the matter, it is 40 minutes long. It's worth a watch. Go watch it right here. And a little trick for anybody who may not know that this exists, you can actually speed up the videos to 1.5, 1.75, or 2.
Dude, you're talking so fast. I must have you at 1.2. I don't have you at 1.25. This is how fast you're talking normally. It's a 20-minute video. What are you doing?
In my case, you can actually slow the videos down to 0.75 or 0.5. But with all that said and done, let's get into this whistleblowing complaint, because for those of you who have been living, I don't know, I'm not going to say it anymore, but for those of you who may not know what's been going on, there was a whistleblower complaint that was recently released alleging a quid pro quo sort of corrupt bribery by Donald Trump to the Ukrainian president, suggesting that...
So this is from 2019. So that's confusing to me because 2019 precedes this. It looks like he was always gone. I'm sort of, I don't know, man. I don't know if this guy's the alt-right pipeline anymore. It looks like Viva Fry was as cooked in the brain before he met this JJ McCullough. And if we look at one of JJ McCullough's videos, How Canada Should End, which was kind of like, wow, you look different. Is that the same person?
Hello friends, my name is JJ, and today I thought we would engage in a little speculative futurism. So a few months...
Okay. JJ is the pipeline because he makes him look palatable. Oh, I understand now, Chuck. That makes more sense. He is laundering. He's laundering Viva Fry and make him is like, oh, this is a trusted legal expert. Don't go to Legal Eagle with 880,000 views on his view. Go to this other guy with some, 20, 30,000 views who's going to explain to us the true. Actually, he hit 90,000 on that? Dang. Okay. He's just hiding his power level? Yeah, that's the pipeline. Okay.
Ago, a young YouTuber named What If Alt Hist did a video entitled How Canada Will Fall. And ever since, a lot of you guys have been asking me to respond to it. Now...
Okay, yeah, and it looks like JJ has continued to, in his lane. He hasn't really grown very much, but he's growing. And it looks like fun political science. This guy seems okay, but I guess maybe he didn't do his research and just let this guy on. Oh no. Well, that's how I found out about him, was because of the trucker convoy. He was one of the few people who was live streaming it. And from what I could tell, he didn't seem like, he obviously was sympathetic, but he didn't seem like he was like he had lost his head. But all right, everybody. We're getting to the alt-right pipeline 2, Electric Prager U. I'm sure all of you are somewhat familiar with the alt-right pipeline that was on YouTube for quite a few years, and then it sort of got pushed back and like stamped down a little bit, and it looks like it's
Do you
coming
remember way back in
again.
2017?
But before we watch this, you know, I didn't watch any I didn't roll any ads during the UVALDE thing because that seemed really crazy. So I'm gonna run now if that's cool with you. You can subscribe. Thanks so much, Trudy Made, for resubscribing. It's like $5 American a month or whatever. I got some new emotes, and I'm here like you know, almost every day doing news and politics and music and poetry and all sorts of wild stuff. There's no more hippy dippy debate, so I don't know. I'd love to get into the ring, but it was already kind of like, you know, no longer. Yeah, it just wasn't a thing. Like, I don't know, man. It was getting kind of unhinged by the time I joined. So yeah, maybe some debates in the future if there's anything worth doing. But yeah, I'm gonna roll the ad and we're gonna watch this video. Sorry. Oh, jeez, sorry guys. I know capitalism. It's not my fault.
When everyone was obsessed with the alt-right. In the wake of Gamergate and at the dawn of the Trump presidency, we had identified
this is my first video. I've never watched Zoe before.
Niche, this radical and sometimes dangerous movement that was gaining a lot of traction and somehow attracting swaths of young, mostly white men.
I love flags too, but it's JJ does like fact sheets, no profound analysis like history with Hilbert, for example.
And we spent years talking about it, dissecting it, figuring out who was leading the helm and what kind of rhetorical tactics they were using. We even had a fun little name for it. We called it the alt-right pipeline. But then stuff happened. There was a whole pandemic and an attempted coup, and Australia was on fire for a while. Do you remember that? And as the world was burning, discussions of the alt-right and the pipeline that had created them were put aside. We had bigger fish to fry. Now, don't get me wrong. People are still talking about alt-right figures.
Yeah, you get some emotes, everybody. Come on.
But it feels different now, right? Like, we're still talking.
Yeah, I hate it. I actually, for like the longest time, I just didn't run ads. But I mean, it's something I will have to incorporate into content to sort of like make it make sense. I mean, just because stuff is breaking, like I do have to replace things that I'm using that no longer work. Like the
liars are lying,
thanks,
and they will
Chuck.
continue
You're
lying
so
until you
sweet.
believe the
You're
lie.
lovely. Thanks so much for the support. I appreciate it. Been a couple good days in terms of just streaming. You know, between follows and subs. Look, my daily sub count. It's working, everybody. It's working. Was that a Prime too? Oh yeah, free. Take that, Bezos. Just don't eat any of those ice creams that are like with Bezos' face. That's still capitalism. I think so. I think it's still capitalism.
Talking about it, but we've stopped asking questions about it. We think we have it all figured out. We know there's an alt-right pipeline, and we know where it's coming from, and we know how they attract people.
Right.
Or so we think. Because as it turns out, while we have been busy with, you know,
oh, cool.
The alt-right pipeline has changed.
Okay.
So
I also just want to take a moment and say she has a rainbow. Oh, lovely. Trudy Made. Oh, you're a sweetie. Oh, gave it to Serbian streamers. Dang, I think he was one of the dudes who came in yesterday with the Andrew Tate crowd. So, dang, maybe should have directed that towards someone who came with him, because I don't know if Serbian Stream is gonna come back here and create a community based on loving kindness. I think he's just here to talk about how men are superior to women or something. I probably should just mass ban all the guys I figured out that were secretly Tate, like standing for Tate. It's cute when people organize their books by color. It's unusual. It's unusual. I organize my books by like theme or weight sometimes. It's the only acceptable way. Strong opinions.
Let's talk about the alt-right and the new alt-right pipeline. And let's talk about the channel that's not just helped the pipeline stay open, but has even added shiny new entrances with sleek matte branding stamped on the side. Let's talk.
Yeah, PragerU. No, Trudy Maid, you didn't do anything wrong. You're a sweetie and you're supporting, and I love that so much. You're very nice. I appreciate it. I'm just reflecting upon the difficult balance I should be trying to make between like keeping a wholesome community and growing, you know what I mean? Just so that this kind of stuff doesn't happen, you know. I love bookshelves organized certain ways. I think the last time I did it was like by series and then author. Ooh, that's nice. By the ones I like, the ones I don't. I think I once organized it between books I've read and books I haven't. All right. Yo, because the right wing has not been sleeping. They've been going hard.
Alright, so for those of you who may not be familiar, PragerU is a YouTube channel and conservative nonprofit whose goal is to funnel casual viewers toward their core right-wing messaging. And that's not an inference on my part either. I'm not putting words in their mouth or anything. They literally advertise it.
Dang, they got a whole funnel shape.
But we have an important question to ask here. How does PragerU funnel their viewers, and what makes their funnel different from the traditional alt-right pipeline? Well, according to their marketing materials, their funnel looks like this. Okay. The mouth of the funnel opens with two types of videos: short educational videos and skits. They make 5-minute videos that are meant to look like clear, trustworthy educational resources about current events for people who might want to learn more about stuff going on in the news.
I'm currently taking a class called Introduction to Communicating Educational Content. So this is actually weirdly relevant to what I study. And so listen, like they're obviously using, you know, professional techniques here. It's working.
And then they also make funny little TikToks and quick man-on-the-street clips for people looking for laughs.
Interesting.
Both kinds of videos usually feature caricatures of leftists or the most damning sound bites they could get from left-leaning people.
Right.
And they're basically saying, hey, look how wild these opinions are.
Yeah,
Aren't
they're
you
woke.
glad you're not as radical as these crazy leftists?
Yeah, the woke leftists.
Which functions to make their educational content look moderate or to make the left-leaning positions look absurd and funny.
Radical.
Once you've seen a couple of these videos, you might think, you know what? These are pretty funny or useful. I want to keep watching. And so you subscribe to their channel. Once they have your subscription, their content shows up on your YouTube home feed. And now you're not just getting their basic, broadly appealing content, but you're also getting their podcasts and their mini documentaries and their interviews with conservative figures. And maybe in one of their videos, they mention how YouTube is censoring their content, and that really piques your interest. What could they have said that was so bad that it got removed from the platform? So maybe
must be something naughty.
You think, you know what? Let me check out their website and see if I can find their censored content there. So you go to their website and you start watching their restricted videos playlist. And once you've spent a couple hours there, maybe you sit back and think, you know what? This is really solid. I can't believe that they're being unfairly censored by YouTube. How can I show my support? And so you browse the site and find a big donation link that tells you how, for only $35 a month, you can become a member of Prager United and get quarterly gift boxes and discounts for their merch store, because of course they have a merch store, and other perks and insider updates. And suddenly, you've become a paying member of the PragerU family. Now,
$35
this
a month.
sounds pretty similar to the traditional alt-right pipeline, right? In the mid-2010s, disinformation and bigotry reached a fever pitch on YouTube. This was the age of angry, reactionary content creators who were anti-feminist, anti-SJW, and anti-PC. But these creators didn't pull viewers in by immediately inundating them with racist rhetoric or explicit calls to violence. They pulled them in using silly comedy videos and webcomics and movie reviews and gaming videos. Those were the videos that had mass appeal. And once you...
I mean, there's something for me to learn. I mean, I watch such dark, upsetting content. I should start to produce some light, fluffy, like, come check out the stream, everybody. I swear I won't ruin your Monday. I swear it's cool people.
You watched a video about how silly Ania Sarkeesian is. Maybe you got a video about forced diversity in video games, and then you got one about immigration and white replacement theory.
Right.
This is the exact same trajectory as PragerU's content funnel. So what makes this new pipeline different from the old one? Well, the old pipeline was built on several different channels all working together to bring people in.
Okay. This is really important for me because I'm bad at marketing. And one of the things, like, I'm realizing, this is something that's told to me right at the beginning. I was like, man, I'm a weird fellow. I just want to do all this stuff. I want to do music, and I want to do this, I want to do that. And, like, I think it was Denims who was just like, you got to pick a niche so that people know what to, like, go to you for, essentially. And so it's been a problem for me, like, for a long period. Like, I'd love to do, like, a music be weird or news be weird or whatever. But you kind of run into the problem of, like, just splitting up your audience between all the interests and not just, like, growing a single stream. So it is interesting to see how PragerU has sort of hacked this equation one way, and we're going to hear how they've hacked it another way. And they might be evil and awful and, like, spreading conservative lies, but they clearly know what they're doing. There's something to be learned there about their tactics.
But the thing about PragerU is that it's more like a traditional media company or TV network. They keep everything in-house. They have a monopoly on the pipeline. It's pretty much just them. And that's dangerous.
Wait, what?
PragerU features all these different right-wing creators and academics and speakers and just, like, normal people under the same banner with the same sleek editing and consistent branding.
Yeah, what is my ex-prime minister doing? What is the ex-Canadian Prime Minister doing on PragerU? Somebody please explain this to me. Make it make sense.
They advertise these speakers as experts and label themselves as a university, if not a legit educational institution, then at least like an alternative kind of school that has a budget and is really polished and put together. This consistent branding helps to make all of their speakers appear equivalent. PragerU features people from all across the spectrum of right-wing thought, and when they come together under the same banner, it makes them all look pretty moderate. When you have one video featuring former White House Press Secretary Dana Perino, where she gives you advice on how to get through a quarter-life crisis, and then you have another video from noted political agitator and conspiracy theorist Charlie Kirk, where he explains how colleges and universities are leftist cults and indoctrination centers.
Tone shift.
They're put on the same playing field, so they must be peers, right?
Similarly,
a legit educational institution wouldn't platform total radicals, right? I mean, they talk to former White House press secretaries and CEOs and writers and politicians. By putting people like Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens and Steven Crowder next to actual politicians and moderate establishment Republicans, it makes those more radical voices seem less radical.
Right.
In other words, PragerU's universal design language, the consistency of their presentation and branding across videos regardless of presenter, reinforces the notion that all of PragerU's content is equally legitimate.
It's like the Overton window, but just like internal, right? You just use your platform to create a sort of Overton window effect, and use like the normal content, make it look the same as the radical stuff, so that you can convert people to the cause. Come on, you gotta respect. That's smart stuff. It's evil. But dang.
In this way, more radical figures like Dennis Prager and Candace Owens, along with Ben Shapiro and Dave Rubin, are cast as equal participating members of the same institution as Ginny Thomas and Dana Perino. PragerU inculcates a chain of equivalence.
Yo, Ginny Thomas was on PragerU? Stop.
Between the neoliberalism of Reagan, the neoconservatism of George W. Bush, the Tea Party, Trumpism, and key figures of the alt-right. This also obfuscates the distinction between PragerU's mainstream presenters and their radical counterparts, essentially allowing viewers to sleepwalk from established orthodox conservatism into radicalism without realizing it. PragerU's style also makes all these figures appear more qualified. You know how people used to make all those like fake Abraham Lincoln quotes and put them in those really like official looking meme formats with the big black box where the text is like next to the portrait? And then everyone on Facebook was like, oh yeah, that looks real, that's totally legit. That was definitely an Abraham Lincoln quote. That is what PragerU is doing. Their channel and website are really polished with nice matte colors and consistent branding. Most people...
It really makes me think of when we saw, like, during the January 6th committee hearings, the contrast between, like, the state electors documents and then, like, the fake state electors. And they had such a different sense of history in their formatting, in the way they appeared. And if you can hack that, if you can sort of fake authenticity, man, the world's your oyster.
People know that Prager University isn't a real university, but they really do advertise themselves as an alternative educational institution. They're put together, and when they create content that looks like something a real university would make, their videos are a lot easier to swallow.
But if any of these people had gone to university, they know that the videos that universities make are terrible. Just going to be a professor lecturing at you for an hour with some slides. Like, come on.
PragerU unites the American right, from Reaganist orthodoxy to the alt-right.
Okay.
These ideas are presented using the same branding and are thus portrayed as equally legitimate, sharing in Prager's university status and slick presentation style. PragerU treats all its presenters as equal representatives of one institution. Basically, their content looks like something you'd see from Khan Academy or in a TED Talk, and that makes you trust them the same way you'd trust something that you heard from Khan Academy or in a TED Talk. It's just that with PragerU, the people that you're listening to aren't experts in their field or qualified scholars. They're news pundits and conspiracy theorists and discredited academics. So we have these radical right-wing presenters who are featured next to establishment Republicans, which makes them seem less radical. They're on the same field as these others, so they can't be that bad, right?
Right.
And then these presenters are given the same polish. Their radical beliefs are presented in official, sleek infographics. White supremacists don't use infographics.
Yeah, of course not.
These people are taken seriously by...
White supremacists don't wear suits. Come on. They all got those Hugo... Oh, wait. No, Hugo Boss did make them suits. Oh, jeez.
By institutions that make cute little animations for them. No one with cute little animations could really be that bad, right? Well, they are bad. They're just paying their graphic designers to make them look good.
Right.
But that brings us to our next question. How did they get all this money for graphic designers anyway? PragerU has a budget of tens of millions of dollars. Ooh. A lot of this money comes from individual donations and from the conservative donor network. But a lot of their money also comes from YouTube. To understand how they took over right-wing YouTube, we first need to understand the algorithm.
Yeah.
So the algorithm is built on connections. It's all about finding videos that connect to each other and all about, well, if you like this, then you'll probably like this other thing too. For an example of this, think of the Paul brothers. On their own, they may not have done as well, but because they made similar content and made it really obvious to the algorithm that they were connected, they were able to bounce off of each other and both able to sort of skyrocket to fame. This tactic was also used by the members of the original alt-right pipeline. Like this chart shows, all of these various right-wing creators featured each other in their videos. They did collaborations, they went on each other's podcasts, they built each other up. And this...
I gotta collab with people, everybody. Who should I collab with? I need to do some content creation.
Is exactly what PragerU is doing.
Right.
Sort of. See, PragerU isn't shouting out right-wing creators or telling you to subscribe to the Joe Rogan podcast. What PragerU is doing is bringing all of these creators in-house.
Under the same
And because
umbrella.
PragerU has all these different videos about different issues featuring different speakers from different parts of the right, their videos are recommending more of their own videos.
Right.
It's all internal. Instead of helping other channels grow, it's all feeding back into itself.
Okay.
So let's take a step back and take stock. PragerU is doing the same stuff that the first alt-right pipeline was doing, but doing it all themselves, doing it with a more widely cast net, doing it in a polished faux academic
Talking
style.
of the algo, I've been reporting, asking YouTube not to see the Daily Wire ads anymore. They keep forcing it on me. Yeah. I had the same experience with the Epic Times, I think is what it is. Yeah. Yeah. This is why I try to tell YouTube to not show me alt-right stuff to hurt that connection. It's probably does help, but dang, they've figured something out in this sauce. Like, YouTube is broken. It's not going to get fixed anytime soon, and it's all about which loopholes can you exploit.
Exclusively reaping all of the rewards, both algorithmically and monetarily. In other words, PragerU replicates the alt-right pipeline, but on a much larger scale. It broadens the network to include a much...
Oh, yeah, the What is a Woman doc, even if I ask not to see it, and they keep saying we won't show this anymore. Yeah, I think Denims just gave it a watch. I would be willing to watch it too if we're feeling particularly masochistic. There's lots about it that seemed really off-kilter and bizarre. And Matt Walsh is obviously a giant douche. So if there's interest, I'm willing to watch it, see what it's all about, but mostly from the angle of, like, how are they crafting, you know, the trans exterminationism arguments? Like, how are they trying to convince middle America that it's cool to put trans folk in camps? Like, that's pretty much my only reason to watch it, is like, all right, what's the next step on the battlefield?
Wider swath of the American right. And by placing the entire spectrum of right-wing politics under one roof with identical branding, it inculcates a sense of equivalence. In short, PragerU increases access to the alt-right and simultaneously mainstreams, legitimizes, and funds it. PragerU extends the radicalization pipeline to include the mainstream right, and then seeks to extend it further still, exposing more and more viewers to alt-right thinkers and priming them for even more radical positions.
Right.
This is, in essence, the clear and present danger that PragerU poses.
Dang.
So, what do we do about this? Like, they're obviously bad and just getting worse as they grow, so we need to find a way to stop them, right? Well, one of the things we can do is what I'm doing. Response videos are good at raising awareness and making fun of some of the more absurd claims that PragerU makes, but they're also
helping.
not necessarily...
You hear that, chat? We're helping. We're making things better.
...necessarily serious takedowns of serious issues. So one of the other things that we can do as creators is to use some of the tactics that they use, but in our own stuff. They have found this great way to help themselves grow and to take over the algorithm.
Right.
They know how to manipulate those connections that YouTube looks for when figuring out what to recommend to people. Now, I know that we can't all feature each other in all of our videos, but making more connections and doing more collaborations can only help. Something else that is severely lacking, though, is scholarly research. I want you to guess how many scholarly papers mention PragerU. Not just, like, about the concept of the alt-right pipeline, and not even solely about PragerU.
Whoa, yeah, academia is absolutely sleeping on this.
Just that mention PragerU.
Yo,
Guess, 100? 1,000? More? Put it in the comments. Well, the answer...
Bro, is there anything? What the hell is going on here? Whoa. Whoa. Are there none? This is from the Cato Institute, so it's not exactly a study. Whoa. 5.
Answer
She found 5.
is 5.
Well done. I didn't find any.
I can count the number of scholarly papers that mention PragerU on one hand. And 2 of those papers aren't even published yet.
Nice.
I actually had the opportunity to meet with a few researchers who are really diving into PragerU, and I used 2 of their soon-to-be published papers for this video.
Right.
One of their papers is forthcoming in the journal Patterns of Prejudice, and the other is forthcoming in Identities, but is still in the review process because academic publishing is a whole thing right now. So big shout out to Rob and Tom at the University of Sussex. Thank you folks so much for doing this work. It is incredible and really helpful. But even with these papers, there is still a massive gap in the research here. And this has some pretty dire implications. Like, if no one questions PragerU, then are they just free to do whatever they want? If no one is keeping tabs on them and measuring the impact they have, then how will we ever really know what kinds of effects they're...
Why has the West been so successful? Oh god, how do we fight this scourge on our collective psyches? I'm so sick of hearing about the West. Make it stop.
Massive media empire has. This research gap is a huge issue and definitely...
Did you know that the West is technically a German word and Germans pronounce the letter W like a V, so technically it's pronounced the vest.
Needs to be addressed. So if you're a social scientist or a graduate student who studies this kind of thing, then consider diving into the world of PragerU and the effects that they have on the new right. Because until we have a handle on who they are and what they're doing, we won't be able to combat their misleading and dangerous misinformation.
I think the problem is that how do you get any good information from PragerU? You'd have to be like polling people, or you just won't get their data sets, right? So you're just kind of looking from without.
And if you are interested in doing scholarly research in this area and you want to reach out to the authors of the papers that I've cited here,
we all went to
I have been given full permission.
Everybody's like searching on their libraries.
Post an email address in the description, so feel free to get in touch with them.
Bunch of nerds.
Thanks again to Rob and Tom for sharing their work and being a part of this project. It would not
I
have
want
been
no
possible
nerds in my
without
chat.
you. The last suggestion I have for how to move forward is to support the folks who are actively working toward changing education.
Okay.
Not just providing a counter to
like
PragerU, but actually trying to change the foundations of how we think about education.
That's me.
And that's where the
Human
Restoration Project
Okay.
comes in.
All right. Them
The
too.
Human Restoration Project is a nonprofit that aims to illuminate, foster, and challenge traditional and progressive educational practices by bringing the humanity back into education. They have a conference coming up, and they've actually sponsored today's video so that I can spread the word about the event, because
it's coming up
I know
soon,
my
everybody.
audience. I know that y'all are a bunch of
It's next
nerds,
week.
and most of you are interested in
Oh,
how
she's
we
calling you nerds too, chat.
can make systemic change and fix, you know.
Bunch of nerds.
So the Conference to Restore Humanity is an all-virtual international conference open to educators at any level, and it's happening from July 25th to the 28th.
Oh, yeah?
The folks at HRP believe that an academic conference that's accessible, sustainable, and representative is way overdue. So the Conference to Restore Humanity is their way of combating
$200
that,
bucks.
because it's been purposefully designed
Bro.
around accessibility and sustainability of virtual learning. This basically translates to more Q&As with the presenters and more engagement both during and after the conference. The content covered during the conference includes restorative justice, anti-racism, anti-carceral education, childism, neurodiversity.
Yeah, you're waiting for the nebula. Yeah. On the Curiosity, you can find out about where I'm making even better educational content. This is all my trash. Zoe does education-centric. Yeah, she seems really based. I really like her. She did her homework. She's got a lot of fluffy things. She has all the complete work, the complete fiction of H.P. Lovecraft. So, all right, propaganda for kids. Yeah, sounds like right up my alley, right up my alley. But golly gee, chat, I've got one last piece of information for you to ruin your day. Humanity faces a collective suicide over climate crisis, according to the chief of the UN. Half of humanity is in the danger zone. If you've been following the heat waves that have been crushing Spain and crossing Europe, I'm sure this has not come as a shock, but hey, it's in my timeline. I have to suffer, so you do too. All right, hooey. That's the last piece of uplifting news. This will be the sort of less exciting. I think I could stream a bit longer. I think the only thing I would want to look into is that manifesto. I should have went to the washroom, but there's this manifesto. The 1 × 1 = 2. Huh? Could be good. could be really smart stuff. I don't know. You know, there's... Nature is a very jealous god. She only reveals her secrets when you are alone with her, and she tells you in soft whispers. Ooh, you know? Might even be a bit romantic. She's saying we should be on YouTube, though, so it makes sense. She's not going to promote a site like Nebula, because it would be giving the right complete legitimacy on YouTube. Oh, that's interesting take as well. Yeah. I kind of want to just maybe... Oh, it actually clicks. Nice. Nice. This could be just a full stream. It's 100-some pages. So, like, it's like, I know I'm not going to get very far into it. I have to do it, like, chapter by chapter. But it seems really funny. Seems like some really good stuff. Really big brain. 1 times 1 equals ing. 1 is paramount to an action times action without a reaction. Like, how are you going to argue with that, chat? Sorry, what is this, Doc? Carol Baskin, it is The Secret to the Universe. It is Terrence Deshaun Howard's treatise on why 1 times 1 is equal to 2. And it went viral. He went viral the other day for this video. Because he's trying to, like... What, are you not into it? He wants to develop new hydrogen technology, chat. He wants to save Uganda. You know this guy? This guy. You've seen him in movies.
You know, I was born Terrence Deshaun Howard. I've become an actor. You know, I've been nominated for Oscars,
I'm gonna go to the washroom.
and Golden Globes. And,
you make a choice.
And SAG Awards. But those weren't the things that really moved me. As a child, I studied chemical engineering at Pratt Institute, was there for 2 years until I saw that there was an inconsistency with the math there. And so I went out to explore a new way of understanding how the universe works, and I was able to define the grand unified field equation they've been looking for and put it into geometry. And then with that geometry, I was able to put props on that. And what I'm saying is now we have invented a new form of flight that I would like to bring here to Uganda to replace the drones, to replace the helicopters, to replace the planes. We have all the funding necessary. What we need is just a fertile ground in which to build this. Now, this is the geometry of hydrogen. Of hydrogen. Hydrogen. This is the proton itself. So any bond that hydrogen can make, our linchpins are able to make. So we're talking about unlimited bonding, unlimited predictable structures, supersymmetry. And the linchpins are now able to behave as a swarm, as a colony that can defend the nation, stupid, right? That can harvest food, that can remove plastics from the ocean, that can give the children of Uganda and the people of Uganda...
Are you questioning his intelligence right now? I don't know, man. I think this guy's onto something. He's about to change flight as we know it for drones and aircraft.
Opportunity to spread this and to sell these products throughout the world, so we are no longer just selling agricultural products and pieces from the land. We can now sell and take center stage with technology. But the main purpose is to defend the sovereignty of a peaceful place and a peaceful people without having to have our young men.
He found unobtainium, everybody. He found unobtainium. And now we all have to live in his world. Uganda is going to become a technological paradise.
Lose their lives.
So what do you think? What do you think? It's either that or I play Mon Bazou. Mon Bazou, je vais jouer comme un Canadien française. Je bois le sirop d'érable. Puis je pousse du cannabis, du marijuana. On peut faire ça. We could do that, huh? Real French Canadian stream. It's your choice. Arugula. Yeah, I'm smoking the devil's lettuce, everybody. Devil's lettuce. All right, new poll. Gaming. Yeah, Mon Bazou. or whatever the hell this is. Hydrogen, the science of hydrogen. Okay, all right. You decide, chat. You decide, chat. I'll let chat make the choice. And if none of you vote, then I'm making the choice. You have to go get on a real airplane, Trudy Maid? You're not gonna leave the stream, are you, though? This is way more important. Mon Bazou, it's a game where you fix up your bazoo so that you can go race. And it's a French-Canadian game. You like drink maple syrup and eat poutine and grow pot, and it's a game. It's a different game. So it's either we go learn about whatever the hell Terrence D. Howard is hawking, or we watch, or we get to play like this really fun, really ridiculous French-Canadian game full of French slurs, and I'll throw in some. I'll even try some French. I'm going for a run. I might die. Oh my god, you guys, you voted evenly. Come on, what are you doing? Oh jeez, what is this? What a biased way to coax the audience. Okay, how about this? I'll do both. I'll read a bit. I'll get through. We'll do like a chapter. Okay, I know I can't get it done. You choose philosophy, but you're leaving. We can do this stupid bullshit thing, or play a super fun, amazing, fun game. I don't know, man. I think this is gonna be way funnier. I think it's gonna be way funnier than you think. But if it's only Chuck who's actually into it, okay. Let me read the thesis. Allow me to enlighten you, and if we're like, okay, I could do a chapter of this, then we'll do a chapter. And if not, it will go straight to gaming, straight to Mon and we'll watch me drive really poorly. And you want to watch the stupid thing? Is the stupid thing Mon or is it this? Come on, or because this is also equally stupid. Come on, we can wait till Chuck leaves and then just do the poll again, and then it's. You know, that's how elections work. You just wait till the demographics shift. The time travel thing? Okay, all right, here we go. Allow me to enlighten you. Wait till I leave? No, I'm gonna psychic damage as you're leaving. Psychic damage as you exit the door. Gerrymander. Yeah, we're gerrymandering We're gerrymandering Chuck out. Okay, I'm gonna be extra super stoned for this. I'm way too sober to be enlightened. I'm sorry, chat. It's true. So smoke them if you got them, because this is not for people with wrinkles in their brain. You gotta be very smooth brain for this. Allow me to enlighten you. 4 divided by 2 is the inverse operation of 2 times 2 equals 4. Sorry, there's a big if there. So if this is true, which it's not, 4 divided by 2, I don't know if it's the inverse okay, let's say it is. Then it would naturally follow that 2 divided by 1 is the inverse operation of 1 times 1 equals 2. Okay, just gonna let you settle. Just let you think about that. I know you're still trying to catch up. But we'll give you time to process. I know it's a bit much. What does your common sense tell you about these 2 scenarios? What do they have in common, and what are their differences? Division. The number 4 is divided by 2 twice. And the truth is, the number of 2 is divided by 1 twice. Addition, 2 plus 2 equals 4, and 1 plus 1 equals 2. Subtraction, 4 minus 2 equals 2, and 2 minus 1 equals 1. Multiplication, 2 times 2 equals 4, and 1 times 1 equals 1. Can you see where the mistake has occurred? Both of these scenarios are identical in every way. The only difference exists in dimension alone. If they add, subtract, and divide according to the same ratio, then they must also multiply according to the same ratio. Plain and simple. If 2 divided by 1 is inconsistent with 1 times 1 equals 1. Although 4 divided by 2 is consistent with 2 times 2 equals 4, then it should follow that 2 raised to itself is equal to 4 and 1 raised to itself is 2. Yet the math and scientific community tells us that common sense and logic are wrong. They're wrong, everybody. In this case, because of a product of an arbitrary convention called the identity property. You hear that, everybody? It's the identity property that's been messing us up, ruining our day. Dear world, I have been told by many that the releasing of this truth may pose certain challenges in my life. For there are many institutions that this truth will be... Oh, we actually might need some, like, silly music. Let's see here. Yeah, here we go. Some Nintendo music going. Okay, back to the truth of the universe. Back to the truth. There are many institutions that this truth will be viewed as disruptive to their system of profits and gains. I want to live a happy and peaceful life, and I pray for longevity, not just for me, but for our entire species. Know that I would never harm myself, nor anyone else for that matter. Nevertheless, if my life has to face certain challenges so that this planet can be saved, please do not let these trials that I may have to face be in vain, and pray for me as I am praying for you. Sincerely, Terrence Deshaun Howard, May 25th, 2019. Amazing. Amazing. So good. Quote, I may be climbing on rainbows, but baby, here goes. It should never occur that the square root of a given number, when added to itself, produces a result greater than the initial number squared. For that would expose a loose thread within the fabric of mathematics, a loose thread capable of unraveling the very ground rules of mathematics and consequently ensuring the collapse of any system that is based upon its foundation. He wrote ensuring wrong. It's an E, not an I. And then he quoted himself? He quoted himself in his intro. He doesn't know how number bases work. No, he's just missing a very basic fundamental piece of like grade 6 math or something. Like a treatise. This is 162 pages, everybody. This is 162. So we're trying to get through the first chapter. A treatise on 1 times 1 equals 2. For 1 times 1 to equal 1 creates a direct violation of all natural law and contradicts Newton's law regarding action and reaction and laws governing conservation of energy. A treatise on the Platonic solids being illusions and universally, capitalized, a set of non-sustainable, incomplete, and now obsolete geometric structure. All space is curved, therefore making it impossible for a straight line, capitalized, to come into existence. Oh fuck, what do they do? The Platonic solids are only optical illusions. You hear that? A chair isn't real. There are no straight lines. Finally, a treatise upon the previously undiscovered geometry that properly defines the magnetic field, the electric field, and redefines what we call space-time. This man is literally trying to upend Einstein's legacy. He's like, Einstein? What does he know? I know more than Einstein. Hello. I am Terrence Deshaun Howard. I was conceived sometime during the week of June 7th, 1968. My parents might have been listening to This Guy's in Love by Herb Alpert because that was the #1 song that week, and it has always been one of my favorites. Aww. All of these things took place in Cleveland, Ohio, but I was born on March 11, 1969 in Chicago, Illinois. That's when the rest of the world got a chance to see this creation, capitalized, that I've come to know as me. There's a phrase, a vibration, that has been heard bouncing upon the lips of mankind. This notion, or state of being, called being awake, woke, or enlightened, as it were. I personally prefer being aware. Yo, he was woke before he was cool. Yes, music's perfect. I am a manifestation of all collected states of matter. Even uranium? What? What? Oh, a manifestation. Okay, there's the wiggle word. I am aware of who I am. I make no excuses for what I am, nor for my over-curious nature. I accept my being and know that in order for me to occupy this particular place in space-time, period. Sorry, why is there a period there? Every wave within the universe has to have co-signed my existence and must likewise be aware of my being in some cosmic sense or another. Every waveform in this universe flows through me and to every other waveform for that matter. I don't know if that's true, champ. I don't know if that's true. Yeah, Serbian. How's it going? Well, we were joking. Like, you came in with the Tate crew, so like I'm 50-50 on the fence of whether you're like you might. I mean, there was a lot of incels with that group, and I can't remember which one of you, if you were based or not. So hopefully, you were one of the cool ones, and that gifty sub from True to Made was well placed, and you make this community a place of loving kindness. We're looking into Terrence Deshawn Howard's very interesting treatise on everything. It's a debate. You don't show much emotion into it. Yeah, fair enough. There was definitely, but when I put out that poll, do you think women and men are equal? And 3/4 of chat, like 3 people at least, said no. I'm like, uh-oh. Definitely not comfortable in that moment. Okay, this is a book about the illusion of matter. Every wave is dependent upon my existence and my particular crest and trough, my spin, my charge, as I am likewise held together by every other wave that is. I am necessary in order for all other things to be, and everything else is necessary in order for me to be. We are all one. Oh, okay, all right, okay, I see. This guy's done some like deep meditative practice. I'm a father of 5 children and a grandfather of 2. I haven't any formal training in the field of mathematics, nor do I... Stop. No. I haven't any formal training in the field of mathematics, nor do I hold degrees in any of the sciences. Wow. What I do hold is a deep respect for all created things, and I've spent nearly 5 decades utilizing the tools of common sense, which doesn't seem to be common. Why does everybody have to say that? Source, trust me, broski. Yeah. Citation needed. Through deep reflection, oh boy, here we go, and purposeful observation of life and its processes, I am witness to an entirely new cosmogony, an understanding of the universe. I am not an alumni of any of the prestigious universities that books about math and science are often authored by, yet I do claim bragging rights and consider myself to be one of the most curious beings in all of creation. You hear that, chat? He's more curious than you. He's more curious than the 5-year-old child. He's run the numbers. I do not have all the answers, but I can show you where you can find them. And just like you, I do have questions. Questions I believe that warrant truthful and heartfelt answers. I understand that many truths are hard to swallow. Like in the movie A Few Good Men, when Jack Nicholson tells Tom Cruise's character, "You can't handle the truth." Do I need to pull that up? We all know what this is. There are many consequences that come as a result of an unbridled tongue, and the truth can be quite burdensome to hear and difficult to accept at times. Nevertheless, from truth me grow, even though growing pains may be a necessary accompaniment. Okay? Truth is necessary for transparency. It is a vital component for understanding life itself, especially since the future of our entire species... Oh, what did I do? Sorry. Truth is necessary for transparency. It is a vital component for understanding life itself, especially since the future of our entire species depends upon it. I have spent much of this... I'm pretty sure we need science to get us out of this scenario. I have spent much of this lifetime gathering countless bits of information, pieces of answers, and tiny tidbits of regurgitated thought from around the universe. No, just from Earth. Just from one place. I had no prejudice regarding the source of that information whatsoever. Nice. I was only in search of absolute truth. I have read and have been read... Wait, what? This sentence is so weird. I have read and have been read by some of the most notable people on the planet. Important people read me. Okay. Still, I consider myself to be no greater than the simplest single-cell organism, and no less than a beloved child of God. I am an Academy Award nominated actor, a self-taught musician, sculptor, artisan, singer, songwriter, philosopher, poet. Oh, he's a poet. No, get out of here. We don't want you. We don't respect you. Get out of my club. He's an alchemist, everybody. Remember alchemy? Remember when we used alchemy to cure people from all their horrible ailments? Remember that part of history? I do not boast of memberships in the clubs of the elite, yet I do belong to one of the most influential families that have ever walked upon the face of this planet, the human family. This book is intended... Yeah, I'm sorry, Pixelful. If you're an alchemist, you gotta kick him out of your club, too. I'm really noticing this, like, single space. It's very odd. This book is intended for the betterment of all living, breathing, and conscious beings in this world and the worlds to come. Is he German? What's with all the capitalization? All creation is alive, even rocks, apparently. All creation shares a collective consciousness with all other things. While many within our species ignore the desperate cries of their own conscience, like some Uvalde police officers that we watched today, they also ignore the suffering of the other beings, like children getting shot, that we share existence with. Wow. All things are equal, including men and women. Sorry, callback. All things stem from the same source, the creator of all things. All created things are also due the same inalienable rights and considerations that the human family enjoys. Humans eat other creatures, my guy. A bunch of humans eat other creatures. We're not really all that cool. We as members of this privileged universal family have a responsibility to everything within creation. We must show it in all of our actions as a sign of appreciation for being blessed with this gift of existence. We should show that we're not only willing, but also happy to cooperate with all things, and are not here to compete with, but to cooperate with nature. All creation understands innately the need for give and take in the shared universe. Let's go about it responsibly, please. You want to know a secret, chat? You want to know a secret? Shh, shh, shh. If you know one thing about one thing, then you know one thing about all things. Yeah? Huh? You ever think of that, chat? Huh? You ever think of that? This is some deep shit, you know? Dunning-Kruger eat their heart out. If you find the common factor and you either multiply it or divide by it, you're gonna know some shit. You're gonna be looking at the secret of the universe. If you know one thing about one thing, then you know one thing about all things. If I know how to stream, I know at least one thing about physics. and biology, I guess. Oh, God. So that's the introduction. Dedication to his love, Mira, in this really bad photo. They're soulmates, because of course they are. It's got this really dorky acknowledgements, introduction, let's move forward, the unbalanced equation, identity property, mathematics 101 should be good. Basic principles of mathematics comes after mathematics 101, bit odd. And all of his like titles are like really odd, they keep changing. A crash course into particle physics? Bro, and quantum mechanics? Yeah, okay. Alright. The Terrian wave fields? Okay. So that was basically chapter 1, everybody. I'm not going to do the introduction. That'll be for another stream, I guess. I think we're going to get into some Mobazoo. On va jouer un jeu vidéo, là. Ça va être vraiment cool avec mes chums. We're gonna play the greatest game ever to be made that is super hot, really good, really big right now. Mobazoo. So let me kill the music. I'll get that going. I haven't played in so long. I heard there was like a big update where you no longer have to water your own pot plants. You can actually like automate it. So I'm curious to see if I can figure that out. All right, let's get into it. Oh yeah. Golly gee. j'ai un cigarette ici. I got a marijuana cigarette. Apropos of this very bizarre video game. If you've never seen this game before, then oh, there's a Quebec flag. That's new. That's cute. Okay. Well, this is it. Ceci c'est mon boisou. Maybe I'll do a race tonight. Yeah, this sounds like really low. Here we go. Okay. And how do I get a joint going again? Yeah, there we go. Smoke this joint. All right. Saint Jean-Baptiste. Nice. Okay. You go there. Oh. You go here. Got some weed. I got to turn off the generator. Just gonna pick up all this weed. Here's my ride. Mon bazoo. I souped it up pretty good. It's looking pretty new coat of paint. It's got a spoiler. So not too bad. So we're gonna go drive down to the racetrack. See if I can sell some weed. We'll leave a pack for me in the morning. Oh, it's too much smoke. Too much smoke. Oh, I'm in the shed. Oh, I should probably tell chat. I should probably tell Twitch or whatever that I'm playing Momazoo. All right, everybody. Momazoo. Yeah, this game's ridiculous. I love it. I'll make sure my high beams are on. My car's like souped up, so it like drives pretty well. I haven't figured out how like the nitrous system works. Apparently there's like a whole nitrous speed boost. Oh fuck. Oh no. Yeah, I swear I'm a good driver. Frame rate's all kind of messed though. Alright, coming into town. Oh. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Now it says 70 kilometers, but I always break the speed limit. All right, there's the track. Oh, we got some Canadian flags. Whoa, church is on. Whoa, what is going on over there? Is there like a bonfire? Nice. Poggers. Can't talk to anyone though. It's pretty cool. Oh man, it's 1:30. I better sell some dope and get racing. All right, let's do this one. Make sure I'm smoking some weed before the race. Oh, whoops. There we go. Oh, takes the inside corner. He takes the inside corner. Oh, eat my Dusty. Yo, I'm zooming. Zoom in. Oh, look at that, chat. Look at that. Master race. Master car driver. Oh, he's angry with me. He drove into me. Oh, jeez. Man, just because you can't handle the heat. Give me that. Give me that 200 bucks. Not bad. Not bad. Alright, let's head home. That's about it. I think it's 3 o'clock, so it's like no more racing. Oh, sorry, eh? Also, love. Yeah, all the racers went home. Okay, yeah, time to go. Oh, even the bonfire's off. Alright, alright. Oh, I should not be hotboxing my car. Just put on some new tires. Oh! You can really tell, eh? Nice scenery. It's better in the daytime. I hope that they've worked a bit on their... It's all a bit sketch. But yeah, when it's the day rolls over, I'll pull up the map. It's pretty funny. Oh, I should not be smoking. Oh. Oh, I haven't played this game in weeks. Alright, we're home. We're home. So it's also like a car mechanics game. You actually have to like get under your car and fix it and all that jazz. Where's my lights? It's a bit of a clunky game though. Alright, off to a good start. Even though I was hotboxing the car, I still managed to win the race. Not bad. Alright, daytime. Construit pour dépasser. Voiture de l'année. 1993. That's so funny. Alright, what color are you wearing? Let's go with traditional red. Alright. Maybe you smoke. I don't have a joint on me. Oh, good thing I kept this packed then. Hell yeah. Alright. Go see how my pot farm is doing. And I wonder if there's new to-do tasks. Sugar shack. Okay, we gotta check out the sugar shack. We gotta water some plants. Oh, look at this farm, everybody. Oh man, I left such a big farm. Holy cow. Let's go. And it's ready. Yo, it's harvest season. Oh, they did a bunch of work on this. It actually shows you if it's ready or if... Yeah, this is totally... Oh, nice. Nice. I love it when a game that you bought in early access actually gets updates. Oh, man. All right. We're going to harvest all sorts of weed. What a harvest. This is my biggest harvest yet. Oh, my God. It's like, oh, it's all ready to go. I'm going to run out of baskets. gonna be rolling all day. I can't believe how much weed is ready. You're not ready. Man, oh man, this is quite the haul. This is quite the haul. Oh yeah, bud. Oh yeah, bud. Look at that. Oh, we're gonna party tonight. Oh, I can smoke weed all day now. All right. Is this based on real scenery? I mean, yeah. I mean, this is absolute. I mean, that's kind of the joke. Is how hilariously similar it is to like a basic trailer park or whatever. The town is very much like a small town Quebec. Absolutely. So much of this is like, I feel, attack territory. This thing, the four-wheeler, like, oh my god. Like, listen. Oh, I forgot the number for my mom. Shit. Oh. Mama. 555 209. Okay. Here, we'll listen to the mom. I'm just gonna put this down. 555 2109. It's so good. It's so funny. I don't know if you could hear that. I don't know. Audio output might be a bit low. Alright, should be fixed. Alright, let's go back to the feed. But everybody basically has really, really thick French accents. It's awesome. Dang, so much grass. Yeah, this would be some sweet living. Alright, so I got huge amounts of weed. Time to roll it up. Oh, I got a good idea. Alright, if you're on YouTube, bye. I'll see you later. I'm gonna end the YouTube stream. Come on over to twitch.tv/beweird. We're gonna put on music, good music, instead of be worried about YouTube giving me a content strike. So bye. See ya, YouTubers.